मैं तब भी कहता था, इसी मन से मैंने कहा था कि अभी तो मोनीश सिसोदिया गए और मैंने कहा था किंग पिन का नंबर भी आएगा और कल किंग पिन का नंबर आया।
War of words politically as Kejriwal stays in ED custody. Aam Aadmi Party claims political vendetta. BJP questions the links that are emerging in the cash trail. Ahead of the big election, Karnataka government moves top court against centre over the delay in the drought relief funds. Big development in the cash for query investigation. CBI conducts searches at Mahua Moitra's residence. And the breaking news this evening, ladies and gentlemen, Arvind Kejriwal is in Enforcement Directorate custody. Will continue to be in custody till the 28th of March. And he's now moved the Delhi High Court against the arrest. We're getting into some more details of his exclusive legal strategy. Legal strategy details with Republic TV. He sought an urgent hearing on his bail plea tomorrow. He's called the Enforcement Directorate custody illegal. Kejriwal has moved the Delhi High Court against arrest. He wants a Sunday hearing. A Sunday hearing. He's also gone on to challenge the 6-day Enforcement Directorate remand, calling the arrest illegal. That's the breaking news update that we have this hour. On top of this is exclusive. More details, exclusive details of the legal strategy of Arvind Kejriwal. Riyanka is joining me live on the show. Riyanka, will his petition be heard? Will his petition be heard on a Sunday? Do we have details of what his legal strategy is? Grounds to appeal.
Absolutely, very interesting developments are now taking place in the Liquorgate probe. The exclusive detail that we have here on Republic is that Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi Chief Minister, who has now been arrested, is on a 6-day ED custody. He has sought for a bail. He has in fact gone ahead and filed a bail plea with the Delhi High Court through an email is what we're getting to know. What is very interesting to note here, that he has sought an urgent hearing into the matter for Sunday. Very interesting here, very significant whether the court will convene on Sunday, whether the Delhi High Court will in fact take up this matter on a Sunday, because it's quite significant, because he is in fact in a chief ministerial position and several details are also going to flow in. We will track all the updates. But Kejriwal here calling the entire matter illegal. Time and again he has said that the arrest, that the summons, all of these are illegal, that the ED is carrying out all these actions under the behest of the centre, the BJP. He has said at this point in his plea that the summons, the remand and the arrest, all of this are illegal. In fact, he has gone ahead and sought an urgent hearing. Well, if we speak about the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, they had gone ahead and protested against the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal. So these are several details that are falling in line. Now, in fact, BRS leader K. Kavita, who has also been given a 3-day extension of the ED custody, had also sought a bail application today at the Rouse Avenue Court, and to which the ED said that we are currently neck deep into the investigation. So we have to wait and watch whether the ED goes ahead and puts up the same matter, that they are neck deep into the investigation, and at this point in time, bail application is not maintainable. So we will bring in all the details here on Republic, but exclusively telling our viewers that Arvind Kejriwal has gone ahead and filed for a bail plea with the Delhi High Court via email. He has sought an urgent hearing for tomorrow, Sunday, 24th of March.
All right, just be with me. In fact, I'm getting in another breaking news update. Vladimir Putin is speaking of the attack in Moscow. I'll cut across to that in just a second. The moment I have that feed, I'll cut across live. I'm getting a breaking news update. It's the first time that he's addressing his country after the attack. In fact, I'll go across to the breaking full frame. Let's stay full frame on that breaking for now. Vladimir Putin, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just breaking in the details right now. Vladimir Putin is speaking, and we're getting in live updates of what Vladimir Putin is telling his country. I'm going through his speech as we route that speech and cut across live. He's addressing Russia after the terrorist attack at the Crocus City Hall in Moscow. Vladimir Putin calling what happened in Moscow a bloody and barbaric terrorist attack. Putin telling his countrymen that dozens of peaceful, innocent people became victims of the terrorist attack in Moscow, saying that he's sure the doctors will do everything possible to save the lives of the victims of the terrorist attack in the city hall. The count of those whose lives were lost in the attack could rise. Putin is speaking live. I'm cutting across in just a few seconds. In fact, we're getting in more breaking news updates of what Putin is telling the people of his country. Vladimir Putin saying that doctors are trying to do everything possible and impossible to save the lives of victims of the terrorist attack in Moscow. And Putin talking to Russia, addressing Russia as we pick up more details of those who targeted Moscow. In fact, some CIA veterans and more breaking news details are coming in now that a former CIA intelligence officer and a US Department of State official has also said that they find it noteworthy that the Biden administration rushed to try to distance Ukraine from the terrorist attack in Moscow, even as Moscow says that some of those who were arrested had links to Ukraine. Those are some details. Let's also tell you that as of this minute, the Federal Security Service Director, or the FSB in Russia, has said that the arrest of 11 people in connection with the terrorist attack has been detailed. In fact, including all 4 terrorists who are directly involved, they've been arrested. The suspects were detained in the region of Bryansk, which borders Ukraine, and the number of those killed has risen to 143, including 3 children, with 107 more sent to hospital. Let's show you the pictures of the attack. What happened in Moscow last night. Let's put out the pictures of what happened in Moscow as we bring you the latest details, even as Vladimir Putin is speaking to his country, addressing his country on what really happened. We had some of the pictures from Moscow, some latest pictures of people paying their tributes. Let's play those pictures. Let's also tell you that the death toll has gone up to 143, including 3 children. 3 children who have been killed. And the death toll from the attack is expected to increase. The Russian Investigative Committee has said that it could increase given the grievous nature of injuries to many others who are being treated in different hospitals across Moscow, adding that the cause of deaths are gunshot wounds and poisoning by combustion products. The FSB has said that suspects plan to cross the Russian-Ukraine border and that the terrorists wanted to cross the Russian-Ukraine border. Okay, Vladimir Putin addressing Russia. Let's cut across live.
Врачи. Уверен, они сделают все возможное и даже невозможное для сохранения жизни и здоровья всех раненых. Особые слова благодарности экипажам скорой помощи и санитарной авиации, бойцам спецподразделений, пожарным, спасателям, которые делали все, чтобы сохранить жизни людей, вывести их из-под огня, из эпицентра возгорания и задымления, избежать еще больших потерь. Не могу оставить без внимания помощь простых граждан, которые в первые минуты после трагедии не остались равнодушными и безучастными, и наряду с врачами и сотрудниками спецслужб оказывали первую помощь, доставляли пострадавших в больницы. Необходимую помощь окажем всем семьям, в чью жизнь пришла страшная беда, раненым и пострадавшим. Выражаю глубокие, искренние соболезнования всем, кто потерял своих родных и близких. Вместе с вами скорбит вся страна, весь наш народ. 24 марта объявляю днем общенационального траура. В Москве и Подмосковье во всех регионах страны введены дополнительные меры антитеррористического и противодиверсионного характера. Главное сейчас не дать тем, кто стоит за этой кровавой бойней, совершить новые преступления. Что касается расследования этого преступления и результатов оперативно-розыскных действий, то в настоящее время можно сказать следующее. Все 4 непосредственных исполнителей теракта, все те, кто стрелял, убивал людей, найдены и задержаны. Они пытались скрыться и двигались в сторону Украины, где по предварительным данным для них с украинской стороны было подготовлено окно для перехода государственной границы. Всего задержано 11 человек. Федеральная служба безопасности России, другие правоохранительные органы работают над выявлением, вскрытием всей пособнической базы террористов, тех, кто обеспечил их транспортом, намечал пути отхода от места преступления, готовил схроны, тайники с оружием и боеприпасами. Повторю, следственные и правоохранительные органы сделают все, чтобы установить все детали преступления. Но уже очевидно, что мы столкнулись не просто с тщательно, цинично спланированным терактом, а с подготовленным и организованным массовым убийством мирных, беззащитных людей. Преступники хладнокровно и целенаправленно шли именно убивать, расстреливать в упор наших граждан, наших детей. Как когда-то нацисты, творившие расправы на оккупированных территориях, они задумали устроить показательную казнь, кровавую акцию устрашения. Все исполнители, организаторы и заказчики этого преступления понесут справедливое и неизбежное наказание, кем бы они ни были, кто бы их ни направлял. Повторю, мы установим и покараем каждого, кто стоит за спиной террористов, кто готовил это злодеяние, этот удар по России, по нашему народу. Мы знаем, что такое угроза терроризма. Рассчитываем здесь на взаимодействие со всеми государствами, которые искренне разделяют нашу боль. И готовы на деле реально объединять усилия в борьбе с общим врагом, международным терроризмом, со всеми его проявлениями. Террористов, убийц, нелюдей, у которых нет и не может быть национальности, ждет одна незавидная участь – возмездие и забвение. Будущего у них нет. Наш общий долг сейчас, наших боевых товарищей на фронте, всех граждан страны, быть вместе в одном строю. Верю, так и будет, потому что никто и ничто не может поколебать нашу сплоченность и волю, нашу решимость и мужество, силу единого народа России. Никому не удастся посеять ядовитые семена розни, панику и разлад в наше многонациональное общество. Россия не раз проходила через тяжелейшие, порой невыносимые испытания, но становилась еще сильнее. Так будет и сейчас.
All right, that's the speech of Vladimir Putin, coming in bits and pieces. Vladimir Putin addressing the Russian people. Let's show you also on the screen, in a split screen, we'll show you the visuals of what happened last night. In a split screen, let's show you the pictures of what happened last night. Over 150 people have been killed. Over 150 people have been killed. And Putin has said that he will punish and his country will punish those behind the Moscow attack. He also claims that gunmen tried to flee to Ukraine. And that is a very, very important statement. Putin says that the terrorists of the Moscow attack, the Moscow concert hall attack, tried to flee into Ukraine. And that is a very, very big, significant statement coming in from Vladimir Putin. And he says that his country will go after. He says his country will go after those who are behind the Russia attack, the Moscow attack. And in fact, we're getting in more details right now. As Vladimir Putin speaks, we're also getting in some pictures. I'll play those pictures out in just a few minutes. As some media houses in Russia also publish footage of the interrogation of the Moscow terror attack suspects. as one suspect admits to shooting people at the hall. He claims he was offered anywhere around $5,000 to shoot anyone, and that the terrorist act was organized on Telegram with an unknown person who provided weapons, and that the attack was prepped a month ago. These are details that we're picking up right now from different reports. And the feed of Vladimir Putin that just came in, Vladimir Putin saying that investigative and law enforcement agencies are doing everything to probe the details of the attack, and that it's obvious that Russia is faced with a planned mass murder of civilians. Criminals went to kill in cold blood and shoot Russians at point-blank range like the Nazis once did. Vladimir Putin telling his country that all the attackers, the terrorists, organizers and financiers of the terrorist attack in the city hall of Moscow will be justly punished, and that they would identify, punish everyone who's behind the attack. And he's also said that they know that what the threat of terror is, and that they want to work with all states that share the pain of Russia. He has concluded by saying the terrorists will face retribution and oblivion. That's the gist of what Vladimir Putin has just told his country. Let's in fact get some experts on the phone line right now to look at the statement of Vladimir Putin when he mentions Ukraine, when he says that the terrorists tried to cross over to Ukraine, whether Russia has more details of the attackers. In fact, ISIS had claimed responsibility. That's what some media reports suggested. But going by the details that we have, it appears that it's not a simple case of the Islamic State alone. Are they more attackers? Are they more conspirators? One of the terrorists who was detained on the suspicion of the attack had said that he had been offered 500,000 rubles to kill people, and that person also confessed that the curators had given him the task of killing everyone in the hall, and that they had entered the hall to kill. Also admitting that, in fact, one of the attackers claimed he flew in from Turkey on the 4th of March, according to the video that has been published by Russia Today and other Russian media agencies. We'll move on now and get you more detailed analysis in a short while from now. That's the breaking news update for the first time since the attack in Moscow. That's the statement of Vladimir Putin. We're getting in another statement of Putin with a translation in English. Let's cut across to that.
In Ukraine, our military services, our emergency services, our investigators are working on finding out the orchestrators of this terrorist attack, those who gave them transportation, who who gave them weapons, etc. The investigative authorities will do everything to identify all details of this crime, but it's already evident that we face not just a cynically organized terrorist attack, but a massive mass killing of civilians. These perpetrators, these criminals, went specifically to kill people point blank. Our people, our children, just like the Nazis that once killed our people during the war, they do the same. All the orchestrators, all those who are responsible for this crime will inevitably be found responsible. They will pay. We will identify everyone who stands behind these terrorists, and they will pay. This is a strike against Russia. We know what terrorist threat means, and we expect that other nations that share our pain will cooperate with us, and we will stand united against this common enemy, international terrorism, no matter where it shows its ugly head. These terrorists have no nationality, and there's only one future for them: retribution and oblivion. Our duty right now, our common duty right now, is to stand together, to stand united, and I believe we will stand together. Nobody can divide us, can undermine our common strength, the strength of Russia's nation, or sow discord in our multinational society. Russia has faced a lot of challenges in its history, terrible challenges, but it always came out stronger, and this will be the same this time.
All right, the address of Vladimir Putin. Let me go across to Abhishek Kapoor. Abhishek, trying to hint at a possible role of Ukraine. Of course, they're not saying Ukraine is directly involved, but saying that the terrorists found a safe haven in Ukraine, saying that the terrorists were fleeing into Ukraine. What do you make of the response of the Russian establishment and Putin?
Well, Niranjan, so I was listening to this carefully. The only giveaway insofar as what's going on in President Putin's mind vis-a-vis Ukraine was the mention of the equivalence that he drew between these terrorists and the Nazis, and the fact that he compared this terrorist attack to how the Nazis targeted Russia and the Russians. Apart from that, I think he has sort of stopped one step short of naming Ukraine. And remember, we had Russian law enforcement agencies last evening alluding to the possibility of some sort of Ukraine element in this terrorist attack, which has been vehemently denied, of course, by Ukraine, by United States and much of the West. And there has been sort of unequivocal solidarity and with Russia and condemning of the terrorist attack. So let's just wait to see whether the things are moving in that direction, or is it just the kind of mistrust that exists between Russia and the West because of the
just
war.
Abhishek, bear with me. Abhishek, just bear with me, brother. Well, 1 second, Abhishek, just 1 second. I have Madhav Nalapat also because there's very limited time on the show. I want to go across to Madhav Nalapat, joining us on the phone line. He's a strategic affairs expert. Madhav Nalapat, Putin breaking his silence. Of course, it's the first time that he's addressed his country after the attack. He says that there was a natural hideout for these terrorists in Ukraine, and that they were headed to Ukraine, they were fleeing into Ukraine. Where do you think this is going?
Well, I'd like to point out that those who are saying that Putin was himself responsible for this attack, frankly, they probably know that they're talking nonsense for a simple reason that this is an attack that directly affects the image of President Putin as an individual who can keep Russia and Russians safe. Now, happening so soon after his landslide victory in the polls, very obvious that whoever has done this, whichever groups have done this, are basically very hostile to Putin, and they wanted to make a point that Putin cannot keep Russia and Russians safe. Having said that, I'd like to say that, we are talking, there's some kind of online message purporting to be from ISIS. Now, look, ISIS has become a label that is covering up the activities of a whole lot of players. ISIS itself, fortunately, has almost been totally wrecked. So I wouldn't really, look in terms of ISIS, although it is a fact that there are radicals in Russia, and certainly radicals in Russia who would love to do something like this. Whether it's them or whether it's some other forces, I don't know. Let's not forget the Nord Stream 2 attack. That also was blamed on Putin. Now, President Putin is not going to destroy his own pipeline, a pipeline to prosperity for both Germany and Russia, which the Germans, frankly, were, agreed to its being stopped, and then later it was destroyed. Now, this is similarly, it's an attack on Putin. The Nord Stream pipeline is an attack on the economy of Russia. This is a personal attack on the reputation of Vladimir Putin. So whoever has done it certainly that individual or group of individuals has absolute hatred for Vladimir Putin.
Yeah. Professor Madhav Nalapa, thank you for joining us on the show. We'll take a short break now. This is a breaking news update that we had here on Republic TV. The President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, breaking his silence on the terror attack in Moscow, where over 150 people were shot dead, including children, at a concert hall. Taking a short break on This Is Exclusive. When we come back, there's an income tax controversy. Cash dealings of the Congress party is under scanner, and the political fight over that continues. We're back with the details of what agencies have found in the case of Congress and cash. The cash for query scandal involving Trinamool Congress suspended MP, now suspended. Mahua Moitra, the very controversial Mahua Moitra, she's been searched, her residence has been searched. We're getting in details of that story as well on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
The UN General Assembly or UNGA passed its first global resolution on artificial intelligence, emphasizing human rights, data protection and risk monitoring in AI development. Proposed by the US and co-sponsored by China along with 122 countries, the resolution advocates stronger privacy policies and oversight for AI technologies. The resolution reflects worldwide efforts to regulate AI amid concerns over its potential risks to democracy, fraud and job displacement. Despite political challenges, the US is moving forward with AI regulation to protect consumers, workers, and national security interests. International efforts are crucial in addressing AI-related challenges, as shown by recent revelations of AI-driven hacking by Russia and China. Discover the top social media IPOs that have made waves in the stock market over the past 15 years, shaping the landscape of social media. Meta's IPO in May 2012 at $38 per share has seen remarkable growth, with current shares trading at around $507, an increase of 1,107%. X IPO on November 7, 2013, priced at $26, soared to $45.10 on day one and was later delisted after Elon Musk's takeover in 2022, introducing major updates. Pinterest's IPO on April 18, 2019 saw shares rise by over 28%.
Viewers, we're live and breaking. I'm Shivangi Shukla, getting you the latest coming in, and this entire show will get you up to speed with all the details coming in ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. Republic TV is your elections headquarters for all the exclusives and the breaking news just ahead of the Lok Sabha polls. But first, the headlines we are tracking at this moment. BJP JDS finalized seat sharing pact. JDS to contest from Mandya, Kolar seats and Hassan seats. More defections in Himachal Congress unit. 6 Himachal MLAs who disqualified as Congress legislators joined the BJP. Opposition rallies behind Kejriwal, who remains in 6-day ED lockup in Liquorgate. After Apna Dal J party, now we see that there's severe ties with the Samajwadi Party. Congress versus RJD over seat sharing explodes over Aurangabad seat in Bihar. Viewers, we're live and breaking right now, and let's go straight ahead to the top story we're tracking at this point of time. The Aam Aadmi Party has gone ahead and they sought an urgent appointment with the Election Commission to ensure a high-level playing field in the Lok Sabha elections. Aam Aadmi Party has now alleged that its office was sealed and Lok Sabha candidates and party leaders could not come to party office for campaign meetings. So that's what we're seeing right now, viewers. Back-to-back updates coming in. I just want to go across to my colleague who's joining us at this point of time, Riyanka, joining us live at this point of time. Riyanka, Aam Aadmi Party seeking an urgent appointment with the Election Commission. And what do they really mean when they say that they want a level playing field? What exactly has Atishi said? Because Atishi has made multiple claims saying that right now Aam Aadmi Party is being targeted and they want an urgent hearing with the Election Commission. What are the details coming in? Riyanka.
Absolutely. As we see, there are several developments that are taking place in terms of the Liquorgate case. And when we talk about the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, they have gone ahead and they have protested against the arrest of the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, what has happened today is that the Aam Aadmi Party top leadership, they have gone ahead and they have approached the Election Commission because they are claiming that the party office has been sealed off from all the sides. These claims are in fact being made by Delhi Minister Atishi. Let me read out what she posted on social media site X. She has in fact gone ahead and questioned the sealing of the party office, saying it is against the level playing field promised by the constitution. The leaders are in fact alleging that they are unable to go to their party headquarters during the election time and calling this, in fact, they're condemning this action and saying that it has all been done by the centre. In fact, Atishi had posted a picture as well along with her post and she has also said that they will in fact go ahead and speak to the Election Commission. They have sought an urgent intervention of the EC. She has said that how can access to a national party office be stopped during the Lok Sabha election? And this is against the level playing field promise in the Indian constitution. We are seeking time with the EC to complain against this. In fact, Saurabh Bhardwaj has also gone ahead and alleged the same, that all access from front, back, left, right have been in fact barricaded by the Delhi police and has been sealed off, and the party leaders and the workers are in fact unable to go inside the party headquarters. They're unable to attend the campaigning meetings and other meetings at this point in time.
All right, thank you for joining us with all the details coming in right now. So what we see at this point of time, viewers, Aam Aadmi Party is seeking an urgent hearing. And of course, we have been telling you that Aam Aadmi Party has said again and again that what is happening is political vendetta. And they have repeated this claim again and again. Let's go ahead to the other story we're tracking right now. And let's go ahead to the news coming in from Uttar Pradesh, where we are getting some election-related news about what is really happening in terms of alliances, where Apna Dal, after Apna Dal, the Janwadi Party has now cut ties with the Samajwadi Party over differences between alliance partners. Janwadi Party will contest on 11 seats in the state solo now. So that's what we're learning right now, where we're getting these details coming in, where Janwadi Party has severed their ties with the Samajwadi Party today. And this is between coming in as there seems to be some kind of a difference between both the alliance partners. Now, the founder and national president of the Janwadi Party, Sanjay Chauhan, said there was a dispute between the Janwadi Party and the SP over distribution of seats. So, it's a distribution of seats which has led to this split the split, viewers, and this is coming in, viewers, as we have been telling you that Janwadi Party was planning on distributing seats with the Samajwadi Party, but now they will go ahead and they will contest 11 seats in the state all on their own. They are going to go completely solo, and that's what we're learning of at this point of time on Republic TV. So remember that the Lok Sabha elections in UP will be held across 7 phases from April 19 to June 1st, and the counting of votes will take place on June 4th. So this is the big update coming in right now on Republic TV, and the rift between the two parties has come to the fore when Apna Dal leader and SP MLA Pallavi Patel has also refused to vote for 2 SP candidates in February Rajya Sabha poll, saying that the SP had ignored its own formula in his choice of candidates. I just want to go across to Raghavendra. So what we see right now after Apna Dal, Raghavendra, Janwadi Party has now cut off all ties with the SP over differences. Not very surprising coming in. Okay, we'll go back to Raghavendra in just a moment. So, back-to-back updates coming on Republic TV, viewers. And as we keep getting more updates, let's tell you exactly what has happened. That after Apna Dal, the Janwadi Party has cut ties with the Samajwadi Party. Let's go ahead to the other story we're tracking on Republic TV, where we're getting in some more news coming in from UP. Let's stick to UP because a lot of details coming in from UP, and we have learned through our top sources that CM Yogi Adityanath will kick off his election campaign with his first rally in Mathura. That is right. That's a big update coming on Republic TV, viewers. And what we can tell you is that Yogi Adityanath is going to kick off the first election campaign rally, and this is going to start off from Mathura itself. So that's the big update coming in, and of course we are getting you top updates on this story. CM Yogi Adityanath kicking off BJP's election campaign in UP with his first rally in Mathura, and this is coming in as we keep getting you more updates on Republic TV about what we can expect. Now, this might happen just after Holi celebrations. The campaign will see Yogi Adityanath taking an active role in the outreach to the electorate. So we can expect that from March 27, the CM will go ahead and he will lead discussions as well, focusing on the BJP's election strategy. And he is going to lead the BJP's campaign in the state, starting off from Mathura. So Mathura is going to be the main point from where this entire campaign is going to kick off. So back-to-back updates coming in right now on Republic TV, and we can also tell you that he will be visiting multiple places, including Bijnor, Muradabad, and others as the campaign kicks off from Mathura. Let's move ahead, viewers, to the other stories we're tracking, because we keep getting you top updates on what we can expect in the upcoming polls. Getting you up to speed with what's happening in other states. Former Telangana governor and BJP candidate from Chennai South seat, Tamilsai Soundarajan, is set to file her nomination on March 25th at 12 p.m. She said that she is confident of her win in the upcoming Lok Sabha polls under the leadership of the BJP.
Met the beneficiaries. More beneficiaries are from Tamil Nadu. Large number of schemes the Tamil Nadu people benefited, and they are politicizing it. If I ask them question within 2.5 hours, what is the big scheme they have brought it for the Tamil Nadu people, and even this South Chennai was struggling. So politicizing, that's all. They don't have any other thing to tell. This they will be going on telling, but we will be working.
BRS Chief Sukesh Chandrashekhar Rao announced Padma Rao as the candidate from the Secunderabad Lok Sabha constituency. Padma Rao's candidature comes after the party described him as a loyal senior leader who has been with the BRS since its inception. After joining the BJP, one of the 3 independent MLAs of Uttar Pradesh have claimed, in fact, KL Thakur has now claimed that the Congress government has not delivered any of its promises. He added that the government will fall apart and that many other leaders will defect.
जिताया और काम करेंगे इसलिए जिताया, वो काम हो नहीं पा रहे थे इसलिए हमने समझा कि विधायक रहने कोई औचित्य नहीं है। जो बिल्कुल ऐसा लग रहा है, बहुत से लोग भाजपा के संपर्क में विधायक, और जनता भी यही चाह रही है।
A day after the BJP-BJD alliance talks fell flat, BJD MP Muzibullah Khan said that the party is prepared to contest all 21 seats at the Lok Sabha alone. and win. He added that the poll preparations were in full swing in the state.
अब विधानसभा में शुरू से देखते जाइए, हर इलेक्शन में हमारा सीट बढ़ते ही जा रहा है विधानसभा में। तो लोगों का विश्वास नवीन बाबू के ऊपर है, बीजू जनता दल के ऊपर है। इसी के कारण हर चुनाव में हमारा सीट बढ़ते जा रहा है। आप रेशियो देख सकते हैं, हर चुनाव में हमारा सीट बढ़ते जा रहा है। इस बार भी हमारा सीट रेशियो बढ़ेगा।
Congress MLA Srinivas has stoked a fresh controversy, saying that if in the upcoming Lok Sabha polls the Congress does not secure enough seats in Karnataka, then CM Siddaramaiah would have to resign, taking moral responsibility. Viewers, let's go ahead to Karnataka now, the state of Karnataka, where we are learning the BJP and JDS have sealed the seat-sharing pact. Sources have informed that couple of seats at Kolar and Mandya seats have been given to JDS, and an official announcement will be made anytime now. Let's go ahead and play out the reactions that we are tracking.
Good. Seat arrangements have been finalized. It will remove all the confusion. Even our NDA partner, our alliance partner, JDS party also can start preparing, and they can also ensure this coordination happens, and their candidate they can field and prepare for the upcoming election. So we are going to win all the 28 seats. I wish all the best for the JDS party, and we are going to win all the seats, and we are expecting all the cooperation from JDS. Good. Seat arrangements have been finalized. It will remove all the confusion. Even our NDA partner, our alliance partner, JDS party also can start preparing, and they can also ensure this coordination happens, and their candidate they can field and prepare for the upcoming election. So we are going to win all the 28 seats. I wish all the best for the JDS party, and we are going to win all the seats, and we are expecting all the cooperation from JDS.
All right, let's go straight to my colleague coming in right now. Prajwal getting us top updates on Republica TV, and we are seeing that the JDS and the BJP have been having talks for quite a while now. For some time, there were concerns that there could be a rift in the alliance, that things might not work out. But it looks like that, according to our sources, it seems that they have come together on a seat-sharing pact. If you could take our viewers through all the details coming in from Karnataka.
Shivangi, it has now been finalized between both the high commands of the BJP and the JDS party, after there was a nod from the national leadership as well for both the BJP and the JDS. And also it is now being learnt that the catch point was Kolar, whether Kolar will be retained by the BJP party, because they have a sitting BJP MP over there. So therefore, that was one of the talking points as well. But finally, seems like these continuous talks between Amit Shah and the former Chief Minister of Karnataka, H.D. Kumaraswamy, seems to have worked out as well, because all said and done now, it is being understood that Kolar is also being given to the JDS party, because Mandya and Hassan was confirmed as well. But the third constituency always remained a question, because the choice was between Tumkuru, Chikbalapur or else Kolar too. And this time around, with the BJP going ahead and naming V. Somanna as the candidate from Tumkuru in the second list, it meant to state that it may be either Chikbalapur or Kolar. And considering the fact that the former medical education and the health minister, Dr. K. Sudhakar, also hails from the same constituency, he had lobbied in hard for a BJP ticket from the Chikbalapur Lok Sabha constituency, and seems like it is also finally worked off too. So considering all of this, now it is being understood that Kolar was the only lone remaining option as well. And also considering that the Vokkaligas are high in number as well, the JDS party wanted Kolar more so over Chikbalapur. So finally it has been decided, and the official announcement has been made by the Karnataka state election in charge, Radha Mohan Das Agarwal.
All right, thank you for getting us all the details coming in. So what we see right now, viewers, BJP JDS seat sharing formula is ready, and Kumaraswamy is getting 3 seats in the stronghold region. Thank you for joining us, Prajwal. Let's in fact take a very short break, viewers, because we are live in breaking and we keep getting you top updates in here Republic TV, your election headquarters. Now, more defections in Himachal Congress unit. 6 Himachal MLAs who disqualified as Congress legislators joined the BJP. Congress versus RJD over seat sharing explodes over Aurangabad seat in Bihar.
Tech giant Apple has been sued by the US Department of Justice in 15 states after grave allegations that the iPhone maker monopolized the smartphone market in the US. Apple has been accused of hurting smaller rivals and caused pushing up of prices in the iPhone category. As the US government has cracked down on big tech, Apple is one among many of its competitors sued by regulators. The other tech firms who have been sued earlier include Alphabet's Google, Meta Platforms, and Amazon.com. As per the US law agency, Apple charges as much as $1,599 for an iPhone and makes larger profits than any others in the industry of smartphones. Consumers have been cautioned not to pay higher prices to Apple, as most of such companies are found to be violating the
Viewers, we're live in breaking, and let's go straight ahead to more election news coming in. And the rift between the India Alliance partners is only widening by the day. And a war of words has now erupted between the RJD and the Congress over the Aurangabad seat. Listen into this exclusive conversation with Nikhil Kumar, a retired Delhi top cop and former Congress MP who has now cried foul over RJD claiming his seat.
It is a clear violation of the coalition dharma, which means that all decisions should be taken in a friendly and amicable atmosphere after thorough talks, thorough question of exchange of views, etc. If that has not been done and a decision has been taken by only one of the constituents of the coalition, then I think it is a violation of our coalition dharma, and that's not correct. As far as Aurangabad is concerned, we are confident of winning this seat. The surveys that have been done puts us way ahead of any other party, and even people from the constituency have been coming to see me. This morning also, yesterday, the whole day yesterday until you came, a lot of people had come and they were very agitated. I had to calm them down, and therefore it is only proper that the real situation should be brought to the notice of RJD, and once that is done and we are able to strike an equation, I'm certain that the right thing will be done.
You are talking of coalition dharma, but do you think that Lalu Yadav has taken this decision by nominating an RJD candidate from Aurangabad, taking into confidence the Congress High Command that includes Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, or rather Mallikarjun Kharge?
This decision has been taken by the RJD without consulting us, certainly not with our concurrence. this is something would like to bring to his notice once again. And if he still doesn't, if the RJD doesn't agree with our point of view, then we'll go up to the High Command, to our leaders at the center, and they will take the right decision as to whether the coalition should continue or not, and if it should continue, in what form should it continue.
You have communicated this to the State President Akhilesh Singh. Is he going to communicate your feelings to the High Command?
I suppose so, because the President was here just a little before, and we had a long chat, and he himself was of the view that if our demand for seats is not met, then we will have to reconsider the question of coalition.
How many seats that the Congress party wants to contest this time? Last time you had contested 9 out of 40.
See, the situation now is similar to what it was in 2019. We contested 9 seats in 2019. We want to contest 10 seats this time, but certainly not less than 9. And in 2019, we won 1 seat out of 9. RJD didn't win any. So we are in a better position to say which candidate will win in our 9 or 10 seats than they.
Even if the RJD decides to field Abhay Kushwaha from Aurangabad, you will contest the Aurangabad Lok Sabha seat on a Congress ticket?
Firstly, let me clarify that this decision is to be taken by the High Command. But as far as I am concerned and my constituents are concerned, my people are concerned, they have come here. This morning they came here yesterday, and they insisted that we must contest this seat. So this will be conveyed to our High Command, and whatever decision is taken by the High Command, we'll accept it.
And if at all the RJD does not agree to the demand of senior Congress leaders like you, then do you think that the High Command should take a decision of calling off the alliance with the RJD?
The coalition will certainly be under some strain, but the decision has to be taken by our High Command, and the situation is being projected before the High Command. Our State President is aware of the situation. We had a long chat this afternoon, and now he is going to Delhi. I suppose he will go there and place the facts before all those who are decision makers, and a suitable decision will be taken.
For bonds, he added that the BJP has done everything step by step and with full planning. Former Karnataka Deputy CM Dr. C.N. Narayan has said that the BJP and JDS seat sharing has been finalized. He added that their alliance will win all 28 seats in the polls. Rebel Himachal MLA Inder Dutt Lakhanpal told the media after joining BJP that Congress has lacked leadership. He added that the party workers are not being given the value that they deserve. He also said that the High Command has no influence left over the body. BRS MLC K. Kavita said that the opposition is fighting against the government and so many political arrests at the time of elections are undemocratic. She added that the ECI should intervene and protect democracy in the country. According to the Aam Aadmi Party Minister Atishi, the Aam Aadmi Party office in Delhi has been sealed from all sides. She said that the party will report the matter to the Election Commission. Metro coming up, viewers, BJP, JDS finalized seat sharing pact. JDS to contest from Mandya, Kolar and Hassan seats. And more defections in Himachal Congress unit. 6 Himachal MLAs were disqualified as Congress legislators joined the BJP. A Congress versus RJD over seat sharing explodes over Aurangabad seat in Bihar.
I am very, very happy to announce that Niva Bupa Health Insurance has come on board as Republic TV's studio partner. Niva Bupa Health Insurance is the fastest growing company among standalone health insurance players in India. It has also provided health insurance coverage to 1.1 crore people in India and settled over 15 lakh claims, processing one claim every 60 seconds. So we are delighted to be partnering with them.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education, whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
हम खोलेंगे अपना रेडियो स्टेशन। यह है देश का रेडियो।
Set against the backdrop of the 1942 Quit India movement, Ae Watan Mere Watan, helmed by Kannan Iyer, who has returned to the director's chair a decade after his directorial debut Ek Thi Dayan in 2013, attempts to narrate the story of Usha Mehta, a 22-year-old college girl who ran an underground radio station, Congress Radio, to counter the British-controlled AIR. The film aims to capture the pivotal role Mehta and the Congress Radio played in igniting the flames of resistance against British colonial rule. However, what unfolds on the screen is not a gripping tale of bravery and sacrifice, but rather a clumsy attempt that glorifies the Congress as the beacon of hope for the nation days ahead of general elections. While attempting to portray India's struggle for independence, Ae Watan Mere Watan fails into the trap of simplistic narratives. The film glosses over the complexities of the era, reducing significant events to mere plot devices. Ae Watan Mere Watan fails to effectively convey the gravity of the freedom struggle. The characters.
I am very, very happy to announce that Niva Bupa Health Insurance has come on board as Republic TV's studio partner. Niva Bupa Health Insurance is the fastest growing company among standalone health insurance players in India. It has also provided health insurance coverage to 1.1 crore people in India and settled over 15 lakh claims, processing one claim every 60 seconds. So we are delighted to be partnering with them.
कांग्रेस को जब से कर्नाटका में मौका मिला है तो इन्होंने कर्नाटका को अपना एटीएम बना दिया है।
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
डीएमके और कांग्रेस टू साइड्स ऑफ द सेम कॉइन है। डीएमके और कांग्रेस का मतलब है बिग करप्शन। डीएमके और कांग्रेस का मतलब है वन फैमिली रूल।
Death toll in the Moscow terror attack rises to over 150, over 100 injured. ISIS claims responsibility, but Russia says there's much more to the attack. Vladimir Putin vows to punish terrorists and groups responsible for the Moscow attack, claims Ukraine link. Global concerns over the Moscow terror attack. Did America warn Russia about an impending attack? Arrested in the liquor scam, Arvind Kejriwal moves the High Court in Delhi, calls his arrest illegal, seeks an urgent hearing on Sunday. War of words as Arvind Kejriwal continues to stay in ED custody. Aam Aadmi Party claims political vendetta. BJP questions the links emerging. Congress cash deals under scanner. BJP hits out, says the party failed to comply with income tax rules. Thank you for joining us on the biggest story tonight. I'm Niranjan. Russia being subject to one of its biggest ever terror attacks. Over 150 people killed, and that number could change. As per the latest reports, at least 150 have been killed in the terror attack at the concert hall in Moscow last night. Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, addressing his country a few minutes back, spoke about the attack and the attempt being made by his agencies to get to the bottom of the attacks. He also made a few very, very critical mentions of what we know so far, saying that some of the attackers found a natural haven in Ukraine while fleeing, hinting that they were trying to flee into Ukraine after the attack. We are waiting for more details. In fact, there are more videos that are also emerging of the attackers reportedly confessing to the killings and taking a bounty, to taking money to murder civilians inside the concert hall. We'll get you those pictures and those details as well. Let me go across to our panelists. We have two special panelists joining us on the show this evening on the biggest story tonight to get a sense of how Russia is looking at it. We have Tatiana Kukureva. Tatiana is joining us live from Moscow. She's a very senior journalist there. And joining us from Kiev is Volodymyr Solovian, who's from the Ukraine Crisis Media Center. I want to go across to Tatiana first to get a sense of how Russia is dealing with this. Saw those pictures, horrifying videos, Tatiana, that came in last night of these gunmen entering that hall, spraying bullets at everyone who had gathered there. Give us the update of what we know so far, as you know it this evening.
Well, Naranjan, as you know, India is a bit ahead of us in terms of time, so it's still early evening hours in Moscow. I just literally passed one of the centers that receives donations, blood, and there are people lining up to give blood to those affected by this terrible attack. It's a somber mood out here, obviously. It is the deadliest attack in Moscow on Moscow to date, if I'm not mistaken. But you know this from history. We're no strangers to such attacks. So people are, it always brings people together and kind of unites them in this sense of, as a community, as a people, really.
Tatiana, when Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, addressed his country, your country, a few minutes back, we were listening to his speech very carefully. He made a few mentions of Ukraine, saying that some of these terrorists and even the suspects who are trying to flee into Ukraine found a natural refuge in Ukraine. Is there a larger role possibly that he's hinting at of Ukraine itself in the attack?
Well, look, I wouldn't be surprised, although I would hate to speculate right now because we're still, we don't have any results of the investigation. The investigation is obviously very much underway. It was less than 24 hours ago right now. So we need to get the facts. There have been videos published of the suspects being interrogated, and they do on those videos confess to accepting the job, but they also say that they don't know who exactly contacted them specifically. There was no names, etc., etc., etc. But we also know, and this is very much a fact, that they were apprehended just 100 kilometers away from the border with Ukraine. So if you look at the facts, then. And obviously, it doesn't take a genius to understand that it would be a very natural refuge for them, seeing as that we are at war. So I believe that's exactly what the president was referencing. As of right now, we are waiting for official results of the investigation. And I am actually very, very interested in what exactly the remaining attackers tell during those interrogations.
Yes. But let me get in a sense from our panelists in Kiev as well. Volodymyr, there is a video. And first of all, let me get your response to what Vladimir Putin said and what Tatiana just said. That it is not really rocket science. She said it's not really rocket science that they were found close to the Ukrainian border. I'd like to get your response first of the developments so far. Volodymyr.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. And I'd like to bring your attention to the fact that according to the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, the border between two countries is a very secured place because of sabotage attacks from Russia, and also President Putin told about so-called window in the border, which terrorists were attempting to use to go to Ukraine. But anyway, the places, the location where they were catched, the forests in Bryansk region, in particularly those regions, several Russian planes were hit not far ago by Ukrainian missiles. And those locations are on around-the-clock surveillance of Russian drones. That means that there were no purpose for these terrorists, and especially for Ukraine, to have some contacts with these terrorists, because Russia would have a clear evidences of such ties, which is obviously unverified rumors right now. And I think that Russia didn't have any evidences at all. And the main goal for Vladimir Putin is just to distract Russians from putting blame on
1 second.
representatives
1 minute.
of
Are you
Central
even trying to remotely... No. 1 second. Volodymyr, are you trying to even remotely try and suggest that this was engineered? Is that what he's trying to say, Tatiana? Some conspiracy theorists from the West
unfortunately,
are trying
it does sound that way,
spread this theory.
And Niranjan, let me just tell you, this is a very interesting fact that Vladimir seems to be very ignorant of, that the length of the frontier between Ukraine and Russia in that region is over 300 kilometers long. So you cannot possibly suggest, and this is the region that has been facing constant attacks where terror groups would actually cross that border and attack Russia. So you cannot possibly suggest that this is under constant 24 hours, surveillance of every square meter of that border. I mean, seriously, this is ridiculous. And it's even more ridiculous. And it's actually, this defies any common sense, any reasoning, any humanity to say that something like this could be engineered. This is offensive at the very least. But I'm not surprised that it's coming, from that side of the border, really.
Well, it is very right to hear.
And there is a video, and I want to ask you about these videos
on Russia, because it is Russia who blowing bombs into Ukrainian villages in Ukrainian regions, and it is Russia that occupies Ukrainian territories and imposing genocidal war against Ukrainians.
Do you know the definition of homicide?
Do not tell us about empathy.
Yeah, but
because Russia do the same things. Russians hit Ukrainian cities. Many ordinary people were killed, not militants, but civilians.
How many?
With Russian drones and Russian missiles.
Have the numbers, Volodymyr.
So, don't tell us about empathy.
How many? Can you give
According
us
to
any numbers?
United Nations estimations, about
Not United Nations estimations,
30,000
Ukrainian
Ukrainian
estimations.
civilians were killed after Russian large-scale invasion.
Now, Volodymyr, I don't think you should talk about the United Nations. I'll tell you why you shouldn't talk about the United Nations. I'll tell you. In recent example, and I'm sitting in New Delhi, right? Let me tell you something, Volodymyr. You please don't quote the United Nations. See what happened in Israel, right? Do you know how many terrorists who walked into Israel and sprayed bullets on Israeli citizens? Do you know how many of them worked with or were associated with the United Nations agencies? I mean, it's a joke. You can't ask the world to look at United Nations as a credible agency, but that's not the point. That's not the point. I don't want to get into that. That's
don't tell me what is the
Tatiana,
point.
I want to come to the videos
estimations of United Nations.
There's a second video.
This is the numbers of United Nations.
No, please.
Don't underestimate.
I'm saying you can't trust the United Nations in the first place. You cannot trust the United Nations in the first place.
Whom to trust, please.
You cannot. I don't think Putin trusts the United Nations as much as you do. Tatiana, but I don't want to divert from the subject. I want to ask you about the terrorist, these videos that we have, these videos that we've accessed, where some of them are heard saying that they were hired for 500,000 rubles, some saying that they came in from Turkey, some saying that they were from Tajikistan, they were hired. What do we know so far of these terrorists?
Well, Niranjan, the problem is for us, speculating on the videos right now is that we do get those videos and they are circulated on social media. But unfortunately, we need to, as journalists, you and I, we have a responsibility. We need to wait for the facts when the investigative committee actually puts forward those facts. I'm seeing that, that some of them confessing to leaving their arms, specifically on the way, dropping them to try to escape. But still, we need to get the facts straight. We need to understand that it's only the official information that gets released that we can really discuss. That is a huge problem, actually, the fact that there's so much information is getting circulated that we're getting lost in reports that then are confirmed not to be true,
Can I then ask you whether Russia is taking it with a pinch of salt, the fact that ISIS has claimed responsibility? Do you take that at face value? Do you think there's more to it when there is an attempt to distance Ukraine? there is an attempt to distance Ukraine. Immediately, America jumps in to distance Ukraine. Ukraine tries to distance itself. So are you not taking any of this at face value? Does this mean that there could be something more to it?
Definitely. I mean, seriously, this is ISIS claiming responsibility for this attack yesterday. If it were in a situation where something could be funny in this horrendous attack, is this, I mean, ISIS in Moscow in 2024, it sounds like such a ridiculous thing to even suggest. Why Moscow when they have other countries that they would be much more inclined to attack.
Yeah.
It just, it just sounds...
Volodymyr, I'll get a last word from you. Yeah. It does sound funny, because I heard they claimed responsibility last night within hours of the attack. Even before all of them were picked up. Volodymyr, I don't think anyone's buying this ISIS theory. I'm not sure about that.
We do not have clear evidences of any involvement of ISIS. I mean that may be even a provocation of Russian special security forces. We're witnessing that at the beginning of 2000s when Russians mobilized their society. Kremlin mobilized Russians during the Second Chechen War. But anyway, this is a speculation right now to put the blame on ISIS or any other part. However, regarding Ukraine, I may note that Ukraine...
On what basis are you saying these are Russian special forces? I mean, how are you making these statements? I'm just surprised. Every time someone from Kiev comes on the debate...
against Moscow.
This is preposterous, to say the least, Niranjan.
I find it amusing that each time... Yeah.
This is how, I'm sorry to say this, but Ukraine has to prepare its propaganda artists way better. At least teach them proper history. This is the very least. If I can give an advice to the other side, then please prepare the people better. Teach them history. Make them read proper history, not Ukrainian history.
Your history is freely at all. You're waging a colonial war in 21st century. Don't teach us history.
Darling,
Russia
your country
is a terrorist country, and do not put a blame on a victim of your aggression. No.
This is ridiculous to hear. You don't understand the meaning of the word colonial.
Kremlin overslept terrorist attack, and there is no purpose to put blame on Ukraine,
of your own country, and you don't know the geography of your own
country. There is no purpose for Ukraine to undermine its support from our Western partners.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. I'll wait for more details to come in before I speak to Tatiana and Volodymyr once again. Tatiana and Volodymyr, thank you for joining us, and condolences to the people of Russia for the attack and the 150 lives that are lost. The Prime Minister of India has also spoken about it. The people of India are close friends of Russia and also Ukraine. And 150 people shot dead in cold blood, many of them killed at a point-blank range. Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, spoke a few minutes back. Let's play that out.
And we already have some results. All the 4 perpetrators were directly involved, who were gunning people down, killing people. They were found and apprehended. They tried to escape. They were moving towards the border with Ukraine. And we have data that suggests that they were about to be moved towards the territory of Ukraine by those in Ukraine. Our military services, our emergency services, our investigators are working on finding out the orchestrators of this terrorist attack, those who gave them transportation, who created who gave them weapons, etc. The investigative authorities will do everything to identify all details of this crime, but it's already evident that we face not just a cynically organized terrorist attack, but a mass killing of civilians. These perpetrators, these criminals, went specifically to kill people, point blank, our people, our children, just like the Nazis that once killed our people during the war. They do the same. All the orchestrators, all those who are responsible for this crime will inevitably be found responsible. They will pay. We will identify everyone who stands behind these terrorists, and they will pay. This is a strike against Russia. We know what terrorist threat means, and we expect that other nations that share our pain will cooperate with us, and we will stand united against this common enemy, international terrorism, no matter where it shows its ugly head. These terrorists have no nationality, and there's only one future for them: retribution and oblivion. Our duty right now, our common duty right now, is to stand together, to stand united, and I believe we will stand together. Nobody can divide us, can undermine our common strength, the strength of Russia's nation, or sow discord in our multinational society. Russia has faced a lot of challenges in its history, terrible challenges, but it always came out stronger, and this will be the same this time.
The death toll in the Moscow terror attack has risen to over 150 as per the latest reports. Nearly 200 people injured, according to the Russian media. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has tried to hint at possible Ukraine links to the attack, calling it a planned mass murder of civilians. Here's a report of what unfolded in Moscow last evening.
About 20 kilometers from the Kremlin. 2 weeks after US issued warning to Russia of a possible attack. And 3 days after Putin dismissed the warnings on imminent attack on Russia, the country faced one of its worst terror attacks. At least 115 killed and over 140 injured. President Vladimir Putin has linked the terror attack to Ukraine. He has vowed severe punishment for the terrorists while declaring National Day of Mourning.
And we already have some results. All the 4 perpetrators were directly involved, who were gunning people down, killing people. They were found and apprehended. They tried to escape. They were moving towards the border with Ukraine. And we have data that suggests that they were about to be moved towards the territory of Ukraine by those in Ukraine.
Watch as gunmen stormed the cinema hall, opened fire, and later set the venue ablaze. A shooting spree was initiated by unidentified gunmen armed with assault rifles in the concert hall of Crocus City Hall. Listen to the eyewitnesses recount the panic and chaos that engulfed the hall when the attack began.
Выстрелы были именно не какие-то разовые, а это были именно очереди. Автоматные очереди, постоянные. В этот момент, естественно, мы уже встаем и пытаемся двигаться в сторону прохода. Люди начинают паниковать, просто бежать, сталкиваться друг с другом. Кто-то падает, кто-то наступает друг на друга.
While Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Putin is receiving regular updates about the shooting, the US has issued advisory to its nationals in Russia.
The images are just horrible and just hard to watch, and our thoughts obviously are going to be with the victims of this terrible, terrible shooting attack. And I think, you look at that video if you have, and you got to recognize that there's some moms and dads and brothers and sisters and sons and daughters that haven't gotten the news yet. And this is going to be a tough day. So our thoughts are with them. You might have also seen, hopefully you saw the State Department, our embassy there, put out a notice to all Americans in Moscow to avoid any large gathering, concerts, obviously shopping malls, anything like that, just for their own safety. They should stay put where they are and stay plugged into the State Department for any additional updates and information.
The ISIS has claimed responsibility. But the question is, why did the US intel warning go unnoticed by the Putin government? Agency report, Republic TV.
Taking a break on the biggest story tonight, Arvind Kejriwal has moved the Delhi High Court asking for relief and a Sunday hearing. Congress cash dealings under scanner BJP hits out, says party failed to comply with income tax rules.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education, whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment. This, of course, came as a huge shock, and William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family. As you can imagine, this has taken time. It has taken me time to recover from major surgery in order to start my treatment. But most importantly, it has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte and Louis in a way that's appropriate for them and to reassure them that I'm going to be okay. As I've said to them, I am well and getting stronger every day by focusing on the things that will help me heal in my mind, body and spirits. Having William by my side
डीएमके और कांग्रेस टू साइड्स ऑफ द सेम कॉइन है। डीएमके और कांग्रेस का मतलब है बिग करप्शन। डीएमके और कांग्रेस का मतलब है वन फैमिली रूल।
You're watching Republic TV. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar. Let's get started with the Superfast 50 stories. 2 days after Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's arrest, he has now demanded an immediate hearing from the acting Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, calling his arrest illegal. The Delhi Chief Minister has demanded for the hearing to take place tomorrow. Indie Bloc held a protest against arrest of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in the Delhi excise policy case at Shahid Park. Arvind Kejriwal is currently in 6-day custody of the Enforcement Directorate. According to Aam Aadmi Party Minister Atishi, the Aam Aadmi Party office in Delhi has been sealed from all sides. She said the party will report the matter to the Election Commission. K. Kavita's ED custody has been extended by 3 days. She was produced before Rao's Avenue Court in connection with the excise policy case. While going for hearing, she quoted that it's a false and fabricated case and it is an illegal arrest. BRS MLC K. Kavita said that the opposition is fighting against the government and so many political arrests at the time of elections are undemocratic. She added that ECI should intervene and protect democracy in the country. Congress leader Sanjay Nirupam has weighed in on the controversy surrounding Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. He said that if Kejriwal is honest, then he should resign and that running a government from jail is not legal and practically possible. Punjab BJP President Sunil Jakhar reacted to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's 6-day ED custody in an excise policy case. He highlighted the implementation of the Delhi model of liquor policy in Punjab, raising concerns about the ongoing CBI investigation. He said that in Delhi it is only about a loot of 100 crore rupees, but in Punjab it's about thousands of crores. He also said that it is a matter of immense shame for the Aam Aadmi Party, who claims to be Kattar Imandar. Accused in a 200 crore extortion case, conman Sukesh Chandrashekhar has claimed that he will expose arrested Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in the Liquorgate probe. Income Tax Department raided the residence of Aam Aadmi Party MLA Gulab Singh from the Patiala Assembly constituency. Delhi police and paramilitary forces are deployed outside Singh's residence. This comes amid previous allegations against some AAP MLAs for bribery related to council seats. The BJP and JDS have finalized their agreement on seat sharing in Karnataka for the upcoming Lok Sabha polls. The Karnataka state election in charge, Radha Mohan Das Agarwal, confirmed that JDS has been allocated Kolar, Hassan and Mandya seats. NIA sleuths have uncovered vital clues in connection with the Bengaluru cafe bomb blast case that rocked the city on March 1st, which left at least 10 people injured. The Central Probe Agency has established a link between Bengaluru blast and Chennai. The NIA officials have traced two suspects, Musawir Hussain Shahzeb and his aide Abdul Mateen Taha. The Karnataka government has filed a writ petition under Article 32 in the Supreme Court urging the immediate release of NDRF funds by the centre. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah emphasised the urgency, stating that 3 memorandums have been submitted to address the drought situation in the state. Former Telangana Governor and BJP candidate from Chennai South seat, Tamilisai Soundararajan, is set to file her nomination on March 25th at 12 p.m. She said that she is confident of her victory in the upcoming Lok Sabha polls under the leadership of the BJP. 3 independent MLAs from Himachal Pradesh, Ashish Sharma, KL Thakur and Hoshiar Singh, joined the BJP in the presence of Himachal Pradesh BJP President Rajiv Bindal and Union Minister Anurag Thakur. After joining the BJP, one of the independent MLAs of Himachal Pradesh, KL Thakur, has claimed that the Congress government hasn't delivered on any of its promises. He added that the government will fall apart and that many leaders will defect from the party. 6 rebel Congress MLAs from Himachal Pradesh and 3 independent MLAs who have resigned from Congress joined the BJP. A day after the BJP-BJD alliance talks fell flat, BJD MP Mazibullah Khan said that the party is prepared to contest all 21 seats in the Lok Sabha alone and win. He added that poll preparations were in full swing in the state. Congress MLA Srinivas has stoked a fresh controversy, saying that if in the upcoming Lok Sabha polls, the Congress does not secure enough seats in Karnataka, then Chief Minister Siddaramaiah would have to resign, taking moral responsibility. Janwadi Party severed ties with Samajwadi Party on Saturday amid differences over seat sharing. The Janwadi Party is now free to declare its candidates for 11 seats in Uttar Pradesh. Mumbai Police Crime Branch brought gangster Prasad Pujari to the court. He will be presented before Special MCOCA court. He was brought to Mumbai from China by the Mumbai Crime Branch officials this morning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has concluded his Bhutan visit and has departed from Bhutan for India. As a special gesture, the King of Bhutan, Wangchuk, as well as PM Tshering Tobgay came to see him off at the airport. Prime Minister Modi inaugurates another mother and child hospital in Thimphu. The hospital has been fully funded by the Government of India. Following a diplomatic dispute with India, the President of Maldives has requested for debt relief measures from New Delhi, emphasizing that India remains the closest ally of Maldives. Remember, Maldives owes approximately $400.9 million to India by the end of last year. Gurugram court granted bail to Elvish Yadav in snake venom case. He was arrested on March 17 in connection with the case under the Wildlife Protection Act. Karnataka's Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar held a meeting with the Chairman, Vice President, Vice Chairman and also the members of the Congress government's Guarantee Schemes Implementation Committee. The meeting aimed to discuss and strategize the effective implementation of various guarantee schemes in the state. A case has been registered against 60 individuals following arson, following the murder of 2 children in Uttar Pradesh's Badaयूं district. The investigative team has commenced the process of identifying the individuals involved in the double murder. Chief of Navy Admiral R. Harikumar emphasized Indian Navy's commitment to enhance safety in the Indian Ocean region, promising affirmative action. He highlighted recent anti-piracy operations over the past 100 days, noting that no Indian flagged vessels were targeted by Houthi rebels. The Kerala government has filed a petition against President Draupadi Murmu for withholding assent to 4 bills passed by the State Assembly. These bills were forwarded to the President without the signature of Governor Arif Mohammad Khan. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar marked his 3-day visit to Singapore by paying homage to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and Indian National Army soldiers at War Memorial. Jaishankar, during his visit, will meet the top leadership of Singapore. A high-level committee has been established to oversee the investigation into the intricate web of connections related to a recent incident. A 4-member special investigation team has been tasked to delve into the matter thoroughly. The number of people killed in the attack on a Moscow concert hall has risen past 120. Russia's investigative committee warned that the toll could only rise. The attack took place as crowds gathered on Friday for a performance by a Russian rock band. As per the Russian news agency, 11 people, including all 4 assailants, have been arrested over Friday's deadly attack on a concert hall. Russian agencies appear to suggest that the attack was linked to Ukraine, even though the ISIS terror group claimed responsibility in a statement. Russian special forces arrived at Crocus City Hall to inspect and survey the scene. This came shortly after the ISIS terrorist group claimed responsibility for the terrorist attack. Chinese President Xi Jinping extended support to Russia and condemned the deadly attack that claimed the lives of over 140 people. Beijing asserted that it stands against terrorism and will back Russia's efforts to defend its security and stability. Moscow Governor Andrei called the Crocus Hall shooting a tragedy and said that emergency services will continue their operations to provide relief to the victims. Russian Deputy Prime Minister, Health Minister and Moscow Regional Governor Andrei has visited the terror attack victims in the hospital. Now, Golikova has assured that qualified medical personnel are working and operating on the patients. Turkish President Erdogan condemned the deadly attack on a concert hall on the outskirts of Moscow claimed by the Islamic State group. Turkey has maintained close ties to Moscow as other NATO members have imposed sanctions over its war on Ukraine. Many explosions were seen over the Gaza Strip a day after Russia and China vetoed a US-sponsored UN resolution calling for an immediate and sustained ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres arrived to the Egyptian northern city of Arish on his annual solidarity trip. Guterres is expected to reiterate calls to silence the guns in the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza and in Sudan. The Israeli Defense Forces released footage on Saturday. It claimed showed strikes on Hamas military compounds and infrastructures in the Gaza Strip. The Joint Operations Command of the Ministry of Defense has announced the completion of the 11th airdrop of humanitarian and relief aid by the UAE Air Force and the Egyptian Air Force in the northern Gaza Strip as part of the Birds of Goodness operation. Explosions were seen and heard in the Yemeni capital Sana'a, according to witnesses and videos, some circulating on social media. There was no official confirmation of the injured or the origin of the explosions, but local TV reported that there were US and UK strikes hitting the city. Britain's Princess of Wales, Kate, has revealed that she has been diagnosed with cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy. In a video statement, she said that she has undergone major abdominal surgery in London in January, saying that it was initially thought her condition was non-cancerous. Tourists and local residents gathered outside London's Buckingham Palace on Saturday, one day after Catherine, the Princess of Wales, publicly announced that she has cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy. Texas authorities said a school bus with more than 40 pre-kindergarten school students collided with a concrete truck and rolled over while returning from a field trip. 2 people have died in the accident. Thousands mobilized in the streets of Peruvian capital Lima to defend citizens' right to access drinking water. The demonstration, attended by social organizations and trade unions, marked World Water Day. Ukrainian protesters gathered outside Kyiv's city administration building on Saturday to demand that local funds for city development and maintenance are used for supporting the country's military. Protesters held signs and chanted slogans to call for funds from Kyiv's city budget to go towards the armed forces of Ukraine instead of building stadiums, parks and repairing pavements. Slovakia heads to the polls to elect a successor to Zuzana, the nation's first female president, known for her unwavering support for Ukraine against Russia's invasion. Former Foreign Minister Ivan Korhok, a pro-Western career diplomat, has cast his ballot in Senek. Dozens of pro-democracy activists gathered in Taipei to protest against Hong Kong's newly passed national security law, which grants the semi-autonomous Chinese city's government more power to curb dissent. Article 23 of the national security law, which came into effect earlier in the day, threatens life imprisonment for residents who endanger national security. Russia and China vetoed a US-sponsored resolution aimed at securing a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict in Gaza. However, efforts hit a roadblock at Russia, and China vetoed a US-sponsored resolution seeking to halt the war.
This is Republic, Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
Moving on, viewers, India brought 35 accused Somali pirates to Mumbai days after they were apprehended when naval commandos recaptured a hijacked bulk carrier and rescued several hostages. The December hijacking of the Maltese-flagged MV Ruan was the first time since 2017 that any cargo vessel had been successfully boarded by Somali pirates. Here's the report.
Indian Navy's warship INS Kolkata brought the 35 Somali pirates it had apprehended in an operation off the coast of Somalia to Mumbai. The Navy said that the pirates were handed over to Mumbai police. On March 17th, the Indian Navy had intercepted a cargo ship hijacked by Somali pirates in a massive high-tempo operation involving drones, navy vessels and marine commandos. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Well, we have some big breaking news coming in. It's a big setback for Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. The High Court has rejected Kejriwal's urgent hearing plea. Remember, Kejriwal has shot out an email to Delhi High Court requesting for an urgent hearing in his case. But this time, the High Court has rejected Kejriwal's urgent hearing plea. This is a big setback for the Delhi Chief Minister, who is currently in the Enforcement Directorate's custody till March 28th, when his case will again be heard at around 2 p.m. Remember, Kejriwal was arrested on Thursday night at 9:05 p.m. and then he was then shifted to the Enforcement Directorate's headquarters, after which he was presented before the Rouse Avenue Court, which granted ED a 6-day remand of Arvind Kejriwal. And today, Arvind Kejriwal moved the Delhi High Court for an urgent hearing, but the High Court has rejected his plea. This is a big setback that the Delhi Chief Minister has suffered after he was remanded to 6-day custody with the Enforcement Directorate. Now, the Enforcement Directorate, during the course of 6 days, will be confronting the Delhi Chief Minister with the data that will be extracted from the digital devices that were allegedly recovered from the Delhi Chief Minister's residence. Also, in its remand note to the court, the Enforcement Directorate had mentioned that Kejriwal will also be confronted with other entities. And now, even as the 6-day remand is yet to be completed, on the first day after the court granted Kejriwal's custody to the Enforcement Directorate, the Delhi Chief Minister requested the Delhi High Court for an urgent hearing. He even filed a plea via email. That's what we got to understand this afternoon. But today, in a major setback, the High Court has rejected Kejriwal's urgent hearing plea. Well, this is another setback that the Delhi Chief Minister has suffered. But let's move on and shift our focus back on Moscow, because the death toll in the terror attack has now climbed to over 130 and over 180 people continue to remain injured. President Vladimir Putin has drawn Ukraine link to the terror attack, calling it a planned mass murder. Now, Putin has declared National Day of Mourning for the terror attack on March 24th. Here's the full report.
And we already have some results. All the 4 perpetrators were directly involved, who were gunning people down, killing people. They were found and apprehended. They tried to escape. They were moving towards the border with Ukraine. And we have data that suggests that they were about to be moved towards the territory of Ukraine by those in Ukraine. Our military services, our emergency services, our investigators are working on finding out the orchestrators of this terrorist attack, those who gave them transportation, who who gave them weapons, etc. The investigative authorities will do everything to identify all details of this crime, but it's already evident that we face not just a cynically organized terrorist attack, but a mass killing of civilians. These perpetrators, these criminals, went specifically to kill people, point blank, our people, our children, just like the Nazis that once killed our people during the war. They do the same. All the orchestrators, all those who are responsible for this crime will inevitably be found responsible, they will pay. We will identify everyone who stands behind these terrorists, and they will pay. This is a strike against Russia. We know what terrorist threat means, and we expect that other nations that share our pain will cooperate with us, and we will stand united against this common enemy, international terrorism, no matter where it shows its ugly head. These terrorists have no nationality, and there's only one future for them: retribution and oblivion. Our duty right now, our common duty right now, is to stand together, to stand united, and I believe we will stand together. Nobody can divide us, can undermine our common strength, the strength of Russia's nation, or sow discord in our multinational society. Russia has faced a lot of challenges in its history, terrible challenges, but it always came out stronger, and this will be the same this time.
About 20 kilometers from the Kremlin, 2 weeks after US issued warning to Russia of a possible attack. And 3 days after Putin dismissed the warnings on imminent attack on Russia, the country faced one of its worst terror attacks. At least 115 killed and over 140 injured. President Vladimir Putin has linked the terror attack to Ukraine. He has vowed severe punishment for the terrorists while declaring National Day of Mourning.
And we already have some results. All the 4 perpetrators were directly involved, who were gunning people down, killing people. They were found and apprehended. They tried to escape. They were moving towards the border with Ukraine. And we have data that suggests that they were about to be moved towards the territory of Ukraine by those in Ukraine.
Watch as gunmen stormed the cinema hall, opened fire, and later set the venue ablaze. A shooting spree was initiated by unidentified gunmen armed with assault rifles in the concert hall of Crocus City Hall. Listen to the eyewitnesses recount the panic and chaos that engulfed the hall when the attack began.
Выстрелы были именно не какие-то разовые, а это были именно очереди. Автоматные очереди, постоянные. В этот момент, естественно, мы уже встаем и пытаемся двигаться в сторону прохода. Люди начинают паниковать, просто бежать, сталкиваться друг с другом. Кто-то падает, кто-то наступает друг на друга.
While Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Putin is receiving regular updates about the shooting, the US has issued advisory to its nationals in Russia.
The images are just horrible and just hard to watch, and our thoughts obviously are going to be with the victims of this terrible, terrible shooting attack. And I think, you look at that video if you have, and you got to recognize that there's some moms and dads and brothers and sisters and sons and daughters that haven't gotten the news yet. And this is going to be a tough day. So our thoughts are with them. You might have also seen, hopefully you saw the State Department, our embassy there, put out a notice to all Americans in Moscow to avoid any large gathering, concerts, obviously shopping malls, anything like that, just for their own safety. They should stay put where they are and stay plugged into the State Department for any additional updates and information.
The ISIS has claimed responsibility. But the question is, why did the US intel warning go unnoticed by the Putin government? Agency report, Republic TV.
Now moving on, after his anti-India rhetoric, Maldives President Mohammad Muizzu has struck a reconciliatory tone, saying that India will continue to remain his country's closest ally. Take a look at this report.
After a period of strained relations with India, Maldives President Mohammad Muizzu has extended an olive branch, asserting India's crucial role as Maldives' closest ally. In a recent interview with local media, Muizzu emphasized the need for continued support from India, particularly in addressing the Maldives' debt burden. Muizzu, previously known for his anti-India stance, said New Delhi was instrumental in providing aid to Malé and has implemented the greatest number of projects. The Maldivian president had demanded that all 88 military personnel manning the 3 Indian aviation platforms should leave the country. Ever since Muizzu took office as president in November last year, the pro-China Maldivian leader has pursued a hardline stance towards India. This, even as the Maldives owed approximately $400.9 million to India by the end of last year. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Well, it's time for a quick break, but on the other side, we will tell you more about Karnataka government moving the top court against the centre over delay in drought relief funds. Along with that, we will also tell you about another big development in the cash for query investigation as CBI has conducted searches at Mawa Moitra's residence. Do stay tuned.
Discover the top social media IPOs that have made waves in the stock market over the past 15 years, shaping the landscape of social media. Meta's IPO in May 2012 at $38 per share has seen remarkable growth, with current shares trading at around $507, an increase of 1,107%. X IPO on November 7, 2013, priced at $26, soared to $45.10 on day one and was later delisted after Elon Musk's takeover in 2022, introducing major updates. Pinterest's IPO on April 18, 2019 saw shares rise by over 28% on day one, raising $1.43 billion. The stock currently trades about $34.33 per share. The IPO of LinkedIn on May 19, 2011 at $45 per share saw a 171% surge on day one, closing at $94.25. Bumble's IPO on February 11, 2021 raised $2.15 billion, with shares surging nearly 77% on day one. However, the stock has seen an 85% decline since then. Match Group's IPO on November 19, 2015 raised $400 million, with shares currently trading at $35.69, showing over 1,100% gains to investors. The UN General Assembly or UNGA passed its first global resolution on artificial intelligence, emphasizing
I am very, very happy to announce that Niva Bopa Health Insurance has come on board as Republic TV's studio model. Niva Bopa Health Insurance is the fastest growing company among standalone health insurance players in India. It has also provided health insurance coverage to 1.1 crore people in India and settled over 15 lakh claims, processing one claim every 60 seconds. So we are delighted to be partnering with them.
डीएमके और कांग्रेस टू साइड्स ऑफ द सेम कॉइन है। डीएमके और कांग्रेस का मतलब है बिग करप्शन। डीएमके और कांग्रेस का मतलब है वन फैमिली रूल।
Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV. It's 8 p.m. Getting you all the headlines and the political action. The BJP expected to release another list. The CEC of the BJP is meeting in the national capital. We have some breaking news updates this evening. Here are the headlines. Death toll in Moscow terror attack rises to over 150. More than 180 injured. ISIS claims responsibility.
Russia has faced a lot of challenges in its history, terrible challenges, but it always came out stronger, and this will be the same this time.
Putin promises to punish terrorists and those groups responsible for the Moscow attack. Says the attackers were trying to flee to Ukraine. Under the scanner for liquor gate, Kejriwal faces another setback. High Court rejects urgent hearing petition. War of words as Kejriwal stays in ED custody. Aam Aadmi Party claims political vendetta. BJP questions liquor gate link.
तब भी कहता था, इसी मन से मैंने कहा था कि अभी तो मोनीश सिसोदिया गए और मैंने कहा था किंग पिन का नंबर भी आएगा और कल किंग पिन का नंबर आया.
More details emerge, more transactions questioned, bigger political fight before 2024.
जो कानून बनाया गया है, ये जो प्रावधान है आईटी एक्ट के, उसे मानना ही पड़ेगा. हम सब बाध्य है, बंधे हुए हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से. Why do you or Mrs. Sonia Gandhi feel that you are above the Constitution of India?
Congress cash deals under scanner. The BJP hits out, says Congress failed to comply with income tax rules. More details are emerging on that story as well on the show tonight. Ahead of the big election, the BJP going all out. CEC meeting is set to commence in the national capital. Some more seats have to be announced. Candidates for several states yet to be released by the BJP. Those names are not known yet. BJP chief JP Nadda is there. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is present. Prime Minister expected to come for that meeting anytime now. He will be arriving at the BJP headquarters in a short while. From now, let me go across to Madhurima, my colleague, joining us with more details from the BJP headquarters. Madhurima, what's on the agenda? Several names to be announced. Are we seeing the next list today?
Well, Niranjan, today it would be hard to say that if any list is going to come, it would be probably tomorrow or day after.
Core group meetings that have happened in the past week and this week as well. We've seen hectic parleys being conducted at the BJP headquarters under the helm of the BJP National President JP Nadda and Amit Shah, and all the leaders from various states coming from across the country, coming to the national capital and holding these meetings even after midnight till 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning. We've been covering them. So after
4 a.m. in the morning, we've been covering them. So after all the crux of that meeting will be presented in front of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's going to arrive here who's going to arrive here shortly, and then the meeting will begin. The Home Minister and JP Nadda, along with other leaders like Devendra Fadnavis, the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, all have reached here. All of them are inside the BJP headquarters. The entire CEC panel is there. All of them are waiting for the Prime Minister. And after that, the CEC will begin. This is most probably the last round of the CEC, because all the core groups meeting have been finished and the final list could be out in a day or two. We'll have to wait for that. But yes, the BJP has been conducting many hectic parleys, Niranjan, in the past week. We've seen leaders and chief ministers of NDA ruled states and BJP ruled states coming to the national capital for core groups meeting to decide the most, potent candidate from each and every specific seat. So in a day or two, the final list will be out. But yes, the Prime Minister is on his way, will be here anytime soon, Niranjan. And then the CEC, the final CEC of the BJP ahead of the Lok Sabha election will begin shortly, Niranjan.
Okay, thank you for joining us with those inputs. The BJP CEC meeting underway. Let's move on now and get you some more updates. Those are pictures of top leaders arriving there. The Prime Minister expected to arrive anytime soon. Senior leaders of the BJP arriving one by one, strategizing for the 2024 elections in the national capital. And as we stay with those pictures, we will get you all the updates. As of this minute, the Prime Minister yet to arrive. Home Minister Amit Shah is already present, and JP Nadda, the BJP president, is at the venue right now and expecting the Prime Minister in a short while from now. Let's move on now and get you the big political story. The big political story nationally. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. He's the buzzword this week. He's been remanded to the custody of the Enforcement Directorate. Last evening, he was sent to 6 days of ED custody. He will continue to be in ED custody till the 28th of March. Kejriwal was arrested in connection with the money laundering case linked to the Delhi government's excise policy. The ED called him the kingpin. The ED said he's the chief conspirator. The ED said he's responsible for the actions of his party. And the Aam Aadmi Party denying all of those charges that the ED made in court against Kejriwal. His wife also spoke today to the media, Sunita Kejriwal, and there was a little bit of a buzz over her statement as well. Let's play out what the wife of Arvind Kejriwal said and what different leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party are saying in the response of the BJP to the arrest and the counter claims by the Aam Aadmi Party. Take a listen.
दिल्ली की मेरी माँ बहनें सोच रही होंगी, केजरीवाल तो अंदर चला गया, पता नहीं अब 1000 रुपया मिलेगा या नहीं। मेरी सभी माताओं और बहनों से अपील है, अपने भाई और अपने बेटे पर भरोसा रखो। ऐसी सलाखें नहीं जो आपके भाई और आपके बेटे को ज़्यादा दिन अंदर रख सके। मैं जल्द बाहर आऊँगा और अपना वादा पूरा करूँगा। क्या आज तक कभी ऐसा हुआ कि केजरीवाल ने कोई वादा किया और पूरा नहीं किया? आपका भाई, आपका बेटा लोहे का बना है, बहुत मजबूत है। बस एक विनती है, एक बार मंदिर ज़रूर जाना और भगवान से मेरे लिए आशीर्वाद मांगना।
Politics over the arrest continues. The BJP saying that there are many links of Arvind Kejriwal that now stand exposed even in the court. The Enforcement Directorate had said that he was the direct beneficiary. His party was the direct beneficiary of cash, kickbacks that reached from Chennai to Delhi to Goa via Mumbai. Details that were laid bare in the courts. Here's how both parties are responding to the arrest and the developments today.
ऐसा कहा गया कि शराबखोर कारोबारियों को मुनाफा पहुंचा, बहुत ज्यादा मुनाफा पहुंचा। लेकिन अगर उन्हें मुनाफा पहुंचा तो उन्होंने किसको रिश्वत दी, उन्होंने किसको पैसे दिए? क्योंकि 2 साल की जांच के बाद, सैकड़ों रेड के बाद, हजारों लोगों को क्वेश्चन करने के बाद आम आदमी पार्टी के किसी भी नेता, किसी भी मंत्री, किसी भी कार्यकर्ता के पास से 1 रुपए की भी प्रोसीड्स ऑफ क्राइम की रिकवरी नहीं हुई। आज तक आम आदमी पार्टी के किसी भी नेता के पास प्रोसीड्स ऑफ क्राइम का, इस मनी ट्रेल का 1 रुपया भी नहीं मिला। और ये सवाल बार बार सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी कोर्ट में पूछा और अपने आदेश में भी लिखा कि मनी ट्रेल कहां है।
कब कहा गया कि ऑरबिंदो फार्मेसी और उसके डायरेक्टर मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग कर रहे हैं? मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग कर रहे हैं का मतलब तो भ्रष्टाचार कर रहे हैं। ईडी कह रही है कि वो भ्रष्टाचार कर रहे हैं। जो कंपनी मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग कर रही है या जो आदमी मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग कर रहा है, आपकी ईडी उसको छापा मार रही है, आपकी ईडी उसको गिरफ्तार कर रही है, वो कंपनी आपको चंदा दे रही है। और 1-2 नहीं, 59.5 करोड़, 59.5 करोड़ रुपए का चंदा भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने लिया है। उनके अकाउंट से इनके अकाउंट में आया है, सबूत है। इस मामले में क्योंकि मनी ट्रेल सीधे तौर पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी में जा रही है, प्रोसीड्स ऑफ क्राइम सीधा सीधा भारतीय जनता पार्टी तक पहुंच रहा है, लिहाजा भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इसी केस में आरोपी बनाना चाहिए। और जिस तरह से अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को गिरफ्तार किया गया, क्या कहा है कि भाई जिस पार्टी को फायदा मिला उसके एक कन्वीनर है। तो अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी को फायदा मिला, उसके कन्वीनर कौन है आप जानते हैं। उनको भी भाई ईडी जो है उनकी भी सेवा करे, सिर्फ अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की नहीं। तो ईडी से ये है कि ईडी जाए और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के जो प्रेसिडेंट हैं जेपी नड्डा जी, उनसे पूछताछ करे, और अगर पूछताछ में वो सहयोग नहीं करते तो उनको भी गिरफ्तार किया जाए।
जिस व्यक्ति के ऊपर इतनी बड़ी इल्ज़ाम लगी हुई है, मैं मानता हूं कि नैतिकता के आधार पर उन्हें अपना पद छोड़ना चाहिए। अब स्पष्ट हो गया है कि आम आदमी पार्टी पूर्ण रूप से कुर्सी की दौड़ में है, जनता की दौड़ में नहीं।
This little drama of Arvind Kejriwal and being outraged about Arvind Kejriwal's arrest, the people of Kerala and the people of the country know fully well. Arvind Kejriwal was accorded the decency and the courtesy of multiple notices by the ED. He was given 4 opportunities to go to the ED, present himself and clarify this very obvious alcohol licensing scam. He chose not to do so. He chose not to go. Now, is it the case of the Congress and the left that if the police issues a summons, that you can choose just because you're a chief minister not to respond to it? Then what is the rule of law? So the consequence of not responding to 4 different summons and notices is arrest.
स्वच्छता की राजनीति की बात करते करते आज शराब घोटाले में इतना दलदल में फंस चुके हैं। आम आदमी पार्टी की शराब से बात करें तो एक राज्य से दूसरे राज्य तक जाती है। जहां एक और शराब घोटाले में कट्टर बेईमान मनीष सिसोदिया जी, उप मुख्यमंत्री दिल्ली, सांसद संजय सिंह जी और ऐसे उनके अनेक वरिष्ठ नेता और कार्यकर्ता और कई दलाल जेल में है। वहीं मुख्यमंत्री और कट्टर बेईमान अरविंद केजरीवाल, वो भी ईडी की गिरफ्त में है। और ये सब शराब घोटाले के लिए जो कल तक क्लीन चिट बाकियों को देते थे, ईमानदारी की चिट देते थे, आज वो स्वयं, मैं तब भी कहता था, इसी मन से मैंने कहा था कि अभी तो मनीष सिसोदिया गए हैं, किंग पिन बाहर है। और मैंने कहा था किंग पिन का नंबर भी आएगा, और कल किंग पिन का नंबर आया। लेकिन इससे बड़ा दुर्भाग्य देखिए, जो कल तक नैतिकता की बात करते थे, आज वो कहते हैं कि मैं जेल से सरकार चलाऊंगा। अरे चारा खाने वालों ने भी पहले इस्तीफा दे दिया था, शराब वालों ने अभी तक भी इस्तीफा देने से मुकर रहे हैं।
Well, he himself is an accused in a 200 crore extortion case. His name is Sukesh Chandrashekhar. He's a con man. He's a con artist, and he likes writing letters. He likes to make claims in the media. Sukesh Chandrashekhar, who's conned many politicians, influential people, actors alike. Today when he was in the court, spoke to the media saying that he also wants to expose Kejriwal. A very interesting soundbite that came in. Take a listen.
A day after Arvind Kejriwal was remanded to 6-day ED custody, conman Sukesh Chandrashekhar has waded into the liquor gate probe. Sukesh Chandrashekhar said he will expose Arvind Kejriwal in the liquor gate probe.
Sukesh, you want to say something on Kejriwal?
I will expose him, I will become an approver, I will make sure he's brought to task.
Will you become an approver?
Yes, I will be an approver against Kejriwal and his team.
This is not the first time Sukesh targeted the Aam Aadmi Party's national convener. In the past as well, he has penned multiple letters to the LG alleging threats from Kejriwal. Sukesh Chandrashekhar is currently in jail in connection with a 200 crore rupees extortion racket case.
You will become an approver?
Yes, I will be an approver against Kejriwal and his team.
Top stories we're tracking from across the country now. The Karnataka government has filed a writ petition under Article 32 in the Supreme Court urging immediate release of NDRF funds by the centre. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah emphasised urgency, stating that 3 memorandums have been submitted to address the drought problem. NIS sleuths have uncovered vital clues in connection with the Bengaluru cafe bomb blast that rocked the city on the 1st of March, left at least 10 people injured. The Central Investigative Agency has established a link between the Bengaluru blast and Chennai. NIA officials have traced 2 suspects, Muzawir Hussain Shazib and his aide Abdul Mateen Taha. A high-level committee has been established to oversee the investigation into the intricate web of connections related to a recent incident. A 4-member special investigation team has been tasked to delve into the matter thoroughly. Income Tax Department raided the residence of Aam Aadmi Party MLA Gulab Singh from the Matiala Assembly constituency. Delhi police and paramilitary forces deployed outside Singh's residence. This came amid previous allegations that were made against a few Aam Aadmi Party MLAs for bribery related to councillor seats. Accused in the 200 crore extortion case, conman Sukesh Chandrashekhar has claimed that he too will expose the arrested Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in the Liquorgate scam. He spoke while leaving the courtroom. The death toll in the Moscow terror attack has climbed to over 150. Over 180 people have been injured in Russia. The Russian President Vladimir Putin addressed his country this evening and tried to draw a Ukraine link to the terror attack, calling it a planned mass murder. Vladimir Putin has declared National Day of Mourning on the 24th of March.
And we already have some results. All the 4 perpetrators were directly involved, who were gunning people down, killing people. They were found and apprehended. They tried to escape. They were moving towards the border with Ukraine. And we have data that suggests that they were about to be moved towards the territory of Ukraine by those in Ukraine. Our military services, our emergency services, our investigators are working on finding out the orchestrators of this terrorist attack, those who gave them transportation, who who gave them weapons, etc. The investigative authorities will do everything to identify all details of this crime, but it's already evident that we face not just a cynically organized terrorist attack, but a massive mass killing of civilians. These perpetrators, these criminals, went specifically to kill people, point blank, our people, our children, just like the Nazis that once killed our people during the war. They do the same. All the orchestrators, all those who are responsible for this crime will inevitably be found responsible. They will pay. We will identify everyone who stands behind these terrorists, and they will pay. This is a strike against Russia. We know what terrorist threat means, and we expect that other nations that share our pain will cooperate with us, and we will stand united against this common enemy, international terrorism, no matter where it shows its ugly head. These terrorists have no nationality, and there's only one future for them: retribution and oblivion. Our duty right now, our common duty right now, is to stand together, to stand united, and I believe we will stand together. Nobody can divide us, can undermine our common strength, the strength of Russia's nation, or sow discord in our multinational society. Russia has faced a lot of challenges in its history, terrible challenges, but it always came out stronger, and this will be the same this time.
The number of people killed in the attack on a Moscow concert hall has risen to over 150. Russia's investigative committee warned that the death toll could rise. The attack took place as crowds had gathered on Friday for a performance by a Russian rock band. As per the Russian news agency, 11 people, including all 4 assailants, have been arrested over Friday's deadly attack on a concert hall. Russian agencies appear to suggest the attack was linked to Ukraine, even though the ISIS terror group had claimed responsibility, but they have doubts over that claim. Russian special police forces arrived at the Crocus City Hall to inspect and survey the scene. This comes shortly after the ISIS terrorist group claimed responsibility for the attack. Chinese President Xi Jinping extended support to Russia and condemned the deadly attack that claimed the lives of over 150 people. Beijing asserted it stood against terror and would back Russia's efforts to defend its security and stability. The governor of Moscow called the hall shooting in Moscow a tragedy and said that emergency services would continue their operations to provide relief to all victims and families. Well, after his anti-India rhetoric, the Maldives President Mohammad Muizzu had struck a reconciliatory tone, saying that India will continue to remain his country's closest ally. This is after the same Muizzu went around the world saying that he's a closer friend to China than India and wanted help from China. Now he says that India is the closest ally, and just when his country's debt is at 400 million. Take a look.
After a period of strained relations with India, Maldives President Mohammad Muizzu has extended an olive branch, asserting India's crucial role as Maldives' closest ally. In a recent interview with local media, Muizzu emphasized the need for continued support from India, particularly in addressing the Maldives' debt burden. Muizzu, previously known for his anti-India stance, said New Delhi was instrumental in providing aid to Mali and has implemented the greatest number of projects. The Maldivian president had demanded that all 88 military personnel manning the 3 Indian aviation platforms should leave the country. Ever since Muizu took office as president in November last year, the pro-China Maldivian leader has pursued a hardline stance towards India. This, even as the Maldives owed approximately $400.9 million to India by the end of last year. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Taking a short break now. Under investigation for Liquorgate, arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, Kejriwal facing another setback. High Court rejects urgent hearing petition. Congress cash deals under scanner. BJP hits out, says party failed to comply with income tax rules.
I am very, very happy to announce that Niva Bupa Health Insurance has come on board as Republic TV's studio partner. Niva Bupa Health Insurance is the fastest growing company among standalone health insurance players in India. It has also provided health insurance coverage to 1.1 crore people in India and settled over 15 lakh claims, processing one claim every 60 seconds. So we are delighted to be partnering with them.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
Tech giant Apple has been sued by the US Department of Justice in 15 states after grave allegations that the iPhone maker monopolized the smartphone market in the US. Apple has been accused of hurting smaller rivals and caused pushing up of prices in the iPhone category. As the US government has cracked down on big tech, Apple is one among many of its competitors sued by regulators. The other tech firms who have been sued earlier include Alphabet's Google, Meta Platforms, and Amazon.com.
Viewers, we keep getting your top updates on India's #1 news channel, Republic TV. This is your election headquarters. We'll get you up to speed with all the stories we're tracking today, especially all the developments ahead of the Lok Sabha polls. But first, the headlines we're tracking at this moment. Death toll in Moscow terror attack rises to 150, more than 180 people injured. ISIS claims responsibility. Putin vows to punish terrorists, claims Ukraine link to Moscow terror attack. Global concerns over Moscow terror attack, but had United States warned Russia about the attack. Under lens for Liquorgate, Kejriwal faces another setback. High Court rejects urgent hearing plea.
मैं तब भी कहता था, इसी मन से मैंने कहा था कि अभी तो मोनीश सिसोदिया गए और मैंने कहा था किंग पिन का नंबर भी आएगा और कल किंग पिन का नंबर आया.
Bolder words as Kejriwal stays in ED custody. Aam Aadmi Party claims political vendetta. BJP questions Liquorgate link.
यह जो कानून बनाया गया है, ये जो प्रावधान है आईटी एक्ट के, उसे मानना ही पड़ेगा। हम सब बाध्य है, बंधे हुए हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से। Why do you or Mrs. Sonia Gandhi feel that you are above the Constitution of India?
Congress cash dealings under scanner. BJP hits out, says party failed to comply with income tax rules. Just weeks before the general elections, viewers, the arrest of Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal by ED liquor excise policy scam has shaken up the Indian politics. A day after the Aam Aadmi Party chief was remanded to 6-day ED custody, he has moved the Delhi High Court seeking an urgent hearing for bail. Another big development coming in, the BRS leader K. Kavita's ED custody has also been extended. Even as politics continues over the arrest itself, the charges is the tide turning against the Aam Aadmi Party chief. While the Aam Aadmi Party has maintained that they will run the government no matter from where, will it respond to the scathing charges levelled at them? Here's more.
मेरा जीवन देश के लिए समर्पित है और चाहे अंदर हो या बाहर देश के लिए।
A day after the Delhi High Court granted 6-day ED custody to Kejriwal, the AAP chief has moved the Delhi High Court seeking an urgent hearing tomorrow for bail. He called the ED custody illegal. In another huge setback to the BRS, the court has extended the ED custody of leader K. Kavita by 3 days in connection with the Delhi Liquorgate scam. These developments come 24 hours after a fierce courtroom battle where the ED claimed that Kavita had conspired in paying kickback money to AAP worth over 100 crores. As Kejriwal continues to be in ED custody, his wife has called for support for the Aam Aadmi Party chief.
आपका भाई, आपका बेटा लोहे का बना है, बहुत मजबूत है। बस एक विनती है, एक बार मंदिर जरूर जाना और भगवान से मेरे लिए आशीर्वाद मांगना।
The political face-off has escalated over Kejriwal's arrest saga, with Indy rallying behind arrested Delhi Chief Minister.
If you see, I'm at the very ground here. You can see all those protesters saying that the arrest of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is illegal. I'm joined by one of the Aam Aadmi Party workers. क्या है इस प्रोटेस्ट के बारे में?
प्रोटेस्ट के बारे में यही है जो केजरीवाल जी के साथ इन्होंने तानाशाही करके दिखाया हुआ है, वो तानाशाही नहीं चलेगी। जनता का भाई है केजरीवाल जी, जनता का बेटा है केजरीवाल जी।
क्या मांगे हैं आपकी?
हमारी मांग यही है, जो गलत अत्याचार लगा रहे हैं, जो झूठे आरोप लगाए जा रहे हैं, उससे नहीं दबेगी आम आदमी पार्टी और हर आदमी केजरीवाल है आम आदमी के लिए।
Opposition leaders have called out the centre for misuse of central probe agencies.
बात साफ है कि सीधा सीधा दादागिरी चल रही है। कोई कानून नहीं है, कोई ऑर्डर नहीं है, आपने हमको हमारे ही दफ्तर से जाने से रोक दिया। तो आम आदमी पार्टी चुनाव कैसे लड़ेगी?
Arvind Kejriwal is a popular chief minister of Delhi, and in a short duration, Aam Aadmi Party has managed to form two governments, two state governments. So it is pretty clear that he is being targeted. This is a politically motivated campaign against him, and this is a political arrest.
आप देख लीजिए क्या हो रहा है। जिस प्रकार से ये दो मुख्यमंत्री जेलों में बंद हैं, ये लोकतंत्र की हत्या हो रही है।
On the other hand, BJP leaders gathered at Rajghat asserting their stand against the corruption trail by the AAP.
जिस व्यक्ति के ऊपर इतनी बड़ी इल्ज़ाम लगी हुई है, मैं मानता हूं कि नैतिकता के आधार पर उन्हें अपना पद छोड़ना चाहिए। अब स्पष्ट हो गया है कि आम आदमी पार्टी पूर्ण रूप से कुर्सी की दौड़ में है, जनता की दौड़ में नहीं।
What made Kejriwal take Liquorgate route? How long can AAP remain defiant? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And viewers, viewers, let's move ahead to the other story we're tracking. Accused in 200 crore rupees extortion case, conman Sukesh Chandrashekhar has claimed that he will expose arrested Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal in the Liquorgate probe. Here is more on that.
A day after Arvind Kejriwal was remanded to 6-day ED custody, conman Sukesh Chandrashekhar has waded into the Liquorgate probe.
All right, guys, those visuals coming in right now. As we can see, those visuals coming in of the Prime Minister Modi, and he has just reached the BJP headquarters for the CEC meeting. Those visuals coming in right now on Republic TV of the CEC meeting. Remember that the BJP is holding multiple CEC meetings over the past few weeks now to really come down with a strategy, discuss Lok Sabha candidates. The BJP Central Election Committee meeting is being held today to discuss party candidates for the Lok Sabha elections. The Prime Minister reaching there to the CEC meeting, and he's going inside now. Prime Minister usually attends most of the CEC meetings. These are exclusive visuals coming on Republic TV. Now, this meeting will be chaired by the party's national president, JP Nadda. The meeting will be held in presence of Prime Minister Modi, during which the next set of list of candidates will be finalized. Let's go straight to Madhurima, who's joining us right now. Madhurima, so on the agenda, we could see that candidates from UP, Bihar, Odisha, Rajasthan, Haryana, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Kerala, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh could be finalized. Over to you, Madhurima.
Well, yes, absolutely, Shivangi. The Prime Minister is here. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived here in the national headquarters of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and today is the final CEC meeting. And this comes after rounds of core groups meeting that have been held here at the national headquarters in the past week. We've seen hectic parleys being conducted between the top rung of the Bharatiya Janata Party and multiple leaders and chief ministers and top state leaders coming from all across the country. So the entire crux of those core group meetings will be presented in front of the Prime Minister, who's going to give the final nod. And after that, in a day or two, we could expect the final list of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the remaining candidates from all states across the country. So this is going to be a very crucial meeting today, the Central Election Commission meeting. Just a couple of minutes back, it was Home Minister Amit Shah and JP Nadda who had arrived there. They also greeted the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister has gone inside. In a couple of minutes, the meeting will begin, and the Prime Minister will be presented with the list of candidates that were decided. The final nod will be of the Prime Minister. We've seen how hectic parleys have been conducted in the Bharatiya Janata Party national headquarters in the past week, all post midnight. And now that the Prime Minister has arrived here, it's 8:37 on my watch, and the meetings, of course, now will continue post midnight as well. We've seen that how the Bharatiya Janata Party has been an election machinery and has been giving the best, because this time the target is ambitious that was set by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister from the floor of the House had coined in the slogan "Ab ki baar 400 par" with an ambitious target of 370 plus for the Bharatiya Janata Party itself, and which is why such hectic parleys meetings been conducted at the national headquarters at all level of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Shivangi. And in continuation of that, pardon me, this particular final round of CEC being conducted today, the meeting is going to begin shortly and will highly likely will continue post midnight, as well as the final list could be out tomorrow or day after. Back to you.
Right, Madhurima getting us top updates coming in right now. And Madhurima, we know that the BJP in its first list announced names of 195 candidates, 72 in second list, 9 in third list, 15 in fourth list. So this is going to be very important, like you're saying. That is it a possibility that we could see some surprises when it comes to the next list of candidates?
Well, it's absolutely, Shivangi, because what needs to be seen here is that the Bharatiya Janata Party is focusing on the winnability factor. This time, when we speak of the candidates that the BJP has been selecting, may it be the MPs in the national capital, we saw that leaving Manoj Tiwari, all the other candidates, none of them got tickets. They were all new and fresh faces who worked on different levels in Bharatiya Janata Party on various ranks. So this time the BJP is being very conscious, even at the time when they chose the chief ministerial candidates after winning the assembly elections. We saw how new faces were given a chance, and those faces were also chosen with the fact that how they will help pump out more MPs from their states through campaigning and various other activities. So yes, there could be many other surprises, because the Bharatiya Janata Party has taken out their own survey at the beginning before coining that slogan. Brijesh Pathak during the national convention told Republic TV exclusively that the BJP has taken out their own survey and they're confident of achieving the target of 370 plus, and they're confident that the NDA is also going to achieve the target of 400 plus. So yes, we'll have to wait and watch, Shivangi, as to who all are going to be given chance to contest from the BJP ticket. The final rounds of meeting to begin shortly here at the party's national headquarters. Shivangi, back to you.
All right, Madhurima, so we're getting those visuals coming in right now of the Prime Minister who's just read the key BJP CEC meeting. BJP's Central Election Committee meeting is being held this evening to discuss party candidates for the Lok Sabha elections. It will be chaired by National President JP Nadda. The meeting will be held in the presence of Prime Minister who just arrived. And we can expect the next list of candidates for the polls to be finalized. I just want to go across to our executive editor, Niranjan, who's joining us on the phone line. Niranjan, this could be the last list of candidates and it's going to be extremely crucial.
Yes, the BJP hasn't released the full list. They have released the fourth list, which was for Madurai, Puducherry, and other seats. That was yesterday, and now all eyes are on the final list, and we are being told that the final list should be out after the CEC meeting. The BJP focused on Tamil Nadu day before yesterday. Yesterday, some more seats of Tamil Nadu. Yesterday, they released a list of 9 Lok Sabha seats for Tamil Nadu. Day before yesterday, there was a list which included Annamalai, etc. So all eyes are now on the next list of the BJP. For example, in key states, they are yet to finalize the seat sharing and also the names of the final candidates. So we're hoping that after this particular meeting, the CEC meeting that is underway, where the Prime Minister is now present, where the Home Minister is present, where the BJP chief JP Nadda is also present, we're hoping that the final names should be out. The BJP CEC meeting is underway, and we know that the BJP has said on record, the Prime Minister aiming to cross the 400-seat tally of the NDA cumulatively. The BJP itself saying that they will cross 370 on their own, anywhere between 350 to 370, and as an alliance to cross 400. So with that in mind, the Central Election Committee of the BJP is meeting right now at the BJP headquarters. And prior to this, of course, they've been having consultations with different leaders from across the country who've been flocking to Delhi to meet the leadership on different issues. Some candidates, some hopefuls, and some with whom the BJP High Command has been talking to one-on-one. And I think in a few minutes from now, or a few hours from now, we should be getting some sort of a final, update on that list. Hopefully, they should be releasing the names of the rest of them. And those rest include 150. I think 150 names are pending, and these are from the state of Uttar Pradesh, which will hold key to the BJP's Mission 400. Bihar, another big state, the second biggest state, where the BJP hopes to do well and hopes that it will add to the tally of to reach the number of 400. Odisha, where they were hoping to go with the BJD, but that's not happening. They will be going it alone. So the names of Odisha are awaited. Rajasthan, some seats are awaited. Haryana, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Kerala, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. 150 candidates, and that should be the final list. And I think we're expecting some names today after this meeting. Back to you for now.
All right. Thank you, Niranjan, for joining us. Thank you, Madhurima, for joining us. So, like Niranjan was telling us, this could be the final list of the candidates. Already we have seen that 4 lists are already out. The 5th one could be the final one with all the names. Let's move ahead right now to the other election stories that we are tracking on Republic TV. Former Telangana governor and BJP candidate from Chennai South seat, Tamil Sai Soundarajan, is set to file her nomination on March 25th at 12 p.m. She said that she is confident of her win in the upcoming Lok Sabha polls under the leadership of the BJP.
Met the beneficiaries. More beneficiaries are from Tamil Nadu. Large number of schemes with Tamil Nadu people benefited, and they are politicizing it. If I ask them question within 2.5 hours, what is the big scheme they have brought it for the Tamil Nadu people, and even this South Chennai was struggling. So politicizing, that's all. They don't have any other thing to tell. This they will be going on telling, but we will be working.
Bihar Chief Sukesh Chandrashekhar Rao announced Padma Rao as the candidate from the Secunderabad Lok Sabha constituency. Padma Rao's candidature comes up. All right. Let's move ahead, viewers, right now. We're getting some visuals coming in from inside the BJP CEC meeting. Breaking news coming in right now. BJP Central Election Committee meeting is being held. Just right now, viewers, PM Modi has arrived, and the agenda would be to discuss party candidates for the Lok Sabha elections. The meeting is chaired by party's national president JP Nadda. The meeting will be held in the presence of PM Modi. It's happening as we speak. Those visuals coming in, the Prime Minister there, where they are seriously discussing, a very serious discussion happening as we speak on the next list of candidates for the polls. So we are hoping that the next list will be finalized. The meeting may finalize 150 candidates from multiple states. We're talking about Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha, Rajasthan, Haryana, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Kerala, and Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. So 150 is a number of candidates which could be finalized in this meeting which is happening, and it also could be possibly, according to our reporters at last CEC meeting, to finalize the list. Let's go straight across to Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor. And Abhishek, 291 candidates announced so far. Now we are waiting for the last 150 candidates to be announced. And like we were discussing earlier, it's a possibility, Abhishek, isn't it, that in a few hours from now, we'll get the list of all the 150 candidates from multiple states. Abhishek.
Well, you see, the 4 states for which discussion has already taken place in core group include the remaining seats in Uttar Pradesh, the remaining seats in Gujarat, almost all of the seats in Odisha, some of the remaining seats in Bengal, and of course Bihar, because remember this CEC is happening after the Bihar formula was finalized. So you can expect that at least these many states and these many remaining seats of those states would be finalized today. And I think core group meetings have already sort of created a list on which a stamp of approval of the CEC is taken. Remember, Prime Minister is returning after almost a gap of 7 days because he was traveling down south first and then 2 days in Bhutan for picking up the party work and sit on the CEC. So I think quick decision making, and you can expect that if not late evening, because the CEC itself might go on for more than a couple of hours, maybe well past midnight. But tomorrow morning or noontime, we should know the status of rest of the seats for the BJP, if not all of the 150 seats for which the party is yet to announce candidates. But maybe at least half of them for sure would be announced, as I said, from the states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha, Gujarat, etc.
Right. Well, thank you, Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor, joining us. Inside visuals on Republic TV of the BJP CEC meeting, top guns of the BJP, Prime Minister Modi, JP Nadda, Amit Shah, all present at that meeting. And it's a possibility soon we'll get the final list of candidates in a few hours from now. Taking a very short break. You're watching Republic TV, India's election headquarters.
हम खोलेंगे अपना रेडियो स्टेशन। यह है देश का रेडियो।
Set against the backdrop of the 1942 Quit India movement, "Ae Watan Mere Watan," helmed by Kannan Iyer, who has returned to the director's chair a decade after his directorial debut Ek Thi Dayan in 2013, attempts to narrate the story of Usha Mehta, a 22-year-old college girl who ran an underground radio station, Congress Radio, to counter the British-controlled AIR. The film aims to capture the pivotal role Mehta and the Congress Radio played in igniting the flames of resistance against British colonial rule. However, what unfolds on the screen is not a gripping tale of bravery and sacrifice, but rather a clumsy attempt that glorifies the Congress as the beacon of hope for the nation days ahead of general elections. While attempting to portray India's struggle for independence, "Ae Watan Mere Watan" fails into the trap of simplistic narratives. The film glosses over the complexities of the era, reducing significant events to mere plot devices. "Ae Watan Mere Watan" fails to effectively convey the gravity of the freedom struggle. The characters
Welcome back, viewers. We are getting the top updates coming in. Now, moving on to news coming in from Karnataka, there's a very significant development. NIA has linked the Shivamogga ISIS module to Bengaluru cafe blast. Now, the probe agency has identified 2 suspects who were allegedly part of the Shivamogga ISIS module. Here's all that you need to know about this top development.
22 days after a horrifying IED blast ripped through a popular eatery in Bengaluru, NIA has gathered more leads in the case. It suspects Shivamogga ISIS module to be behind the explosion. A cap left behind by the bomber at the restaurant has led the NIA to Chennai. The Central Probe Agency says Musafir Hussain Shazib and Abdul Mateen Taha, both part of the Shivamogga ISIS module, purchased the cap from a mall in Chennai. The ISIS module was exposed after a pressure cooker filled with explosives detonated in an auto rickshaw in Bengaluru in 2022.
Now, the National Investigation Agency has gone ahead and identified 2 people belonging to the Shivamogga ISIS module in connection with the Bengaluru blast case as well. And it is being learned that Musafir Hussain Shazib and Abdul Mateen Taha were the ones as well. And the cops have traced this particular cap which the suspected bomber Musafir Hussain was wearing. And this has been traced to a mall in Chennai as well. And later the cops have also scouted through the CCTV footages which shows that both these accused were staying in a rented room at Triplicane.
While the suspected handlers of the ISIS module remain at large, is there a bigger conspiracy behind the cafe blast? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And viewers, the BJP and the JDS have finalized their agreement on seat allocation in Karnataka for the upcoming Lok Sabha polls. The Karnataka state election in charge Radha Mohan Das Agarwal confirmed that JDS has been allocated seats in Kolar, Hassan and Mandya. Here's more on this story.
BJP's Karnataka state election in charge Radha Mohan Das Agarwal has now made it official after a meeting of the state BJP leadership, stating that Kolar, Mandya as well as Hassan will be contested by the JDS party as well in the upcoming Lok Sabha polls, meaning to state that he's also gone ahead and confirmed to what the former Chief Minister of Karnataka, H.D. Kumaraswamy, had spoken a few days ago too. So in all likelihood from the Kolar Lok Sabha constituency, more or less it's been decided that it will be Mr. Mallesh Babu. From Hassan it will be Prajwal Revanna, and from Mandya it will be Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy. The announcement will be made official after Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy will be discharged from the hospital where he recently underwent a cardiac operation at a private hospital in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. With video journalist Bhagat, Prajwal Prasad reporting for Republic from Bengaluru.
Let's get you some global updates now. Often seen as an agent of China, President Xi has always had a hardline stance against India. But suddenly now he has softened his stance. But what has led to the change of heart? Here is a report on what really happened.
From an anti-India rhetoric to now a reconciliatory tone, Maldives President Mohammad Muizzu has now softened his hardline stance against India. The pro-China leader has sought debt relief from India. Muizzu's request comes amid strained diplomatic ties between the two nations. Remember, Maldives owed India approximately $400.9 million by the end of last year. During his interview to a local media channel, President Muizzu urged India to accommodate debt relief measures for the Maldives in the repayment of the hefty loans taken over consecutive governments. He said that discussions were on with New Delhi for a debt relief. He expressed hope that India would consider an option which is economically viable for his nation. He also said that during his discussion, he told PM Modi that Maldives wouldn't halt any ongoing projects. That's not all. He said that India and Maldives will continue to remain close allies. His comments praising India comes close on the heels of India withdrawing the first batch of military personnel from the island nation this month as planned. Remember, President Muizzu had demanded that all 88 military personnel manning the 3 Indian aviation platforms should leave the country. In the past, Muizzu's moves have often been pursued as anti-India, but now he has backtracked. Remember, after taking oath, Muizzu pursued a pro-Chinese policy, starting with his visit to Beijing. Muizzu signed a comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership, besides signing 20 agreements to assist his nation's infrastructure after his meeting with Xi Jinping. On the other hand, Beijing has also announced a $130 million grant, besides promising to send more tourists to Maldives, which is heavily dependent on tourism. In fact, without taking India's name, President Muizzu said Maldives may be a small nation, but this doesn't give a license to anyone to bully the island nation. The verbal rant didn't end there. Taking a dig at previous regimes in Maldives, Muizzu said while previous administrations used to change seats with permission from others, Maldives under his government will stand on its own feet without relying on anyone. Listen in.
We may be small, but that doesn't give you the license to bully us.
Keeping up with his past moves, visits and pro-China stance, his latest request certainly raises eyebrows. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Viewers, much more coming up. Death toll in Moscow terror attack rises to 150. More than 180 injured. ISIS claims responsibility. Plus, Putin vows to punish terrorists, claims Ukraine linked to Moscow terror attack. Stay tuned.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
Swatantra Veer Savarkar is currently running in the theatres. The film features Randeep Hooda in the titular role and also marks his directorial debut. Now, just like most other genres, biopics too have developed a blueprint of sorts. With a near 3-hour-long runtime, Randeep Hooda, in and as Swatantra Veer Savarkar, manages to effectively lead as the face of the film while attempting to adhere to this very blueprint. He, however, significantly struggles when it comes to executing his vision as a director. Randeep Hooda has a firm grip over his craft. The actor, however, has had a history of picking convoluted scripts which fail to do justice to his credibility as an actor. Mayor Charles and Sarbjeet being prime examples of this. Swatantra Veer Savarkar, Hooda's third attempt at a biopic, significantly suffers owing to his inexperience as a director. Now, does the film live up to the hype? Swatantra Veer Savarkar is Randeep Hooda's magnum opus.
दुनिया की सबसे पुरानी भाषा तमिल भाषा हिंदुस्तान की है। मैं दुनिया को बताना चाहता हूं, सबसे पुरानी भाषा का गर्व प्राप्त है, वो मेरी तमिल भाषा है।
Thank you for joining us on the Weekend Debate, ladies and gentlemen. Last night, here in India, we went to bed hearing about the terror attack in Moscow. In fact, we were tracking the updates through the night, and at last count, we were told that at least 50 people were killed. And when we woke up this morning, across India, the number and this shock, and it's reminiscent of what happened in Mumbai in 2008 during 26/11. 150 people have been killed in Russia at the terror attack in Moscow, and that's our focus on the Weekend Debate. Here are the headlines tonight. Over 150 killed in the Moscow terror attack. Russian President Vladimir Putin says mass murders were pre-planned.
It's history, terrible challenges, but it always came out stronger, and this will be the same this time.
Putin vows to punish terrorists and groups responsible, claims Ukraine link to the terror attack. All terrorists involved in the attack and suspects detained by Russia. Did the terrorists get help from Ukraine? Global concerns over the Moscow terror attack, and a war of words has also now begun. But did the United States warn Russia, or did it know about an impending attack? In the national capital, Prime Minister Modi chairs a key BJP CEC meeting to finalize the candidate list for the elections. Under lens for Liquorgate, the liquor scam, Arvind Kejriwal has faced another setback. He sought an urgent hearing from the High Court on Sunday, and even that has now been rejected. Over 150 people have been killed in the terror attack in Moscow. There are very, very shocking images that came into our newsrooms since last night of armed gunmen storming into a concert hall in Moscow and raining bullets on people who were present there, even kids among the 150 who were shot dead. That number could rise. Here's the latest report.
At least 150 people have lost their lives and nearly 200 have been injured in Moscow terror attack. Russia has faced one of its worst terror attacks in the last 20 years. President Vladimir Putin has called it a barbaric terrorist attack and a planned mass murder.
The investigative authorities will do everything to identify all details of this crime, but it's already evident that we face not just a cynically organized terrorist attack, but a massive mass killing of civilians.
The Russian president has drawn the Ukraine link to the deadly terror attack and has announced March 24th as a national mourning day.
Все четверо непосредственных исполнителей теракта, все те, кто стрелял, убивал людей, найдены и задержаны. Они пытались скрыться и двигались в сторону Украины, где, по предварительным данным, для них с украинской стороны было подготовлено окно для перехода государственной границы.
While ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attack, the Russian government has denied rumors that those detained on suspicion are Russian citizens. The incident comes days after the US warned Russia about a planned terror attack. Is Ukraine behind the Moscow terror attack? Did America know about it? Let's debate.
Joining us on the weekend debate this evening from New Delhi, we have Lieutenant Colonel Abhinav Navneet, a defence expert from New Delhi. We also have Major General J.D. Bakshi, who will be joining us in a few minutes from now. From Moscow, I have Tatiana Kokoreva, who's a senior journalist. She's live with us today. She was live with us earlier this evening as well on Republic. From Kiev, we have Volodymyr Solovian, who's from the Ukraine Crisis Media Center. And from Washington, D.C., we have Peter Kuznick, Professor of History at the American University. And from Uppsala, we have Greg Simmons, an independent researcher. He's joining us live from Sweden this evening. All right, let me first start with Tatiana. Tatiana, there are different reports coming in from Moscow this evening. Just, went through some of the comments being made from experts and also members of different agencies in Russia, are more increasingly trying to point at a possible Ukrainian hand, or at least that's what they seem to suggest. Why is that?
Well, look, it's good evening to you too. It is a very obvious link because, again, as we discussed earlier today, the terrorists were apprehended en route to Ukraine. It was just 100 kilometers away from the border. It's the Bryansk region, the specific region that's faced continuous attacks by groups of, fighters crossing over from Ukraine. So it's a large border. It's essentially a forest, so it's rather, terrible as it sounds, but it's rather easy to cross if you really, really, really want to. And despite the heightened security, despite the best efforts, it's 300 kilometers long. So it's a very logical link. However, being a journalist, I do believe that we need to, the speculations that are going on in the society are very, it's easily expected. We need to wait for the results of the investigation, even the preliminary results of the investigation. Right now, it is obviously very, very early. The things that we know so far is that all of the assailants, all of the terrorists are not Russian citizens, and they have confessed to taking the job for a specific sum of money, but they do not know who ordered it. And while the president has said that they did have, they appear to have had contacts on the other side of the border, we have to wait for the official results of the investigation.
All right. Let me get an Indian perspective to this before I go across to Kiev to get the response of those who are in Kiev and those who support Kiev. Major General J.D. Bakshi is also joining us live. Good evening, General Bakshi. Can you hear me, sir? Can't see you there. I think I just lost your frame there for a second. General Bakshi, good evening. General Bakshi, hi. This is Niranjan. You're live on the show, sir. Can you hear me? I'm just checking to ensure that your line is through.
I can hear. I think I just lost your frame there for a second. General Bakshi, good evening.
Yeah, I wanted to get your perspective, General Bakshi, of what you think of what's happened in Moscow and with Russia and experts in Russia trying to hint at a Ukrainian hand. What's your take on that?
General Bakshi, of what you think of what's happened in Moscow and with Russia and experts in Russia trying to hint at.